Freaks, unbiased crew, bringing you the news without a slew. Rednecks will lose where truth takes flight. Every day, every night, we keep it tight. Through the chaos, through the calm, we stand. With Captain Pav and Freaks, we understand. The pulse of the world will never let it fade. Rednecks World News, where truth is made. From wars to peace, from despair to hope, we're here to guide you through the scope. No matter the storm, we'll keep you informed. Rednecks World News, where truth is born. Captain Pav and Freaks, unbiased crew, bringing you the news without a clue. Rednecks World News, where truth takes flight. Every day, every night, we keep it up.
To the show where Gen Z takes the stage. Thumbs tapping screens in this digital cage. Alexa's our bestie, Siri's our guide. Real conversations we'd rather just hide. We're fluent in memes but can't change a tire. Our social skills melting like ice in a fire. We're lost without Wi-Fi, can't read a map. Is this adulthood? We're falling through the gap. Generation awkward, that's who we are. Crippled by we won't get far. Unequipped for life, but we've got apps galore. Who needs real skill when there's always a Siri? What's this for? We can code an app, but can't boil an egg. For human connection, we have to beg. Our attention span's shorter than a TikTok clip. Reality's a game show, we're not equipped to play. Ding dong, it's time to face the facts. Our life skills are glitching, system under attack. Can AI save us from this mess we're in? Or are we doomed to lose before we begin? Generation awkward, that's who we are. Crippled by AI, we won't get far. Unequipped for life, but we've
All right, welcome, Dylan. Welcome. Long time no see, buddy. We've missed you.
We missed
Thanks
you
for joining us.
Welcome back.
It's one of the originals right here, folks. Everyone pay attention to what OG really looks like, okay? All right, well, definitely appreciate you, buddy. We are trying something a little bit new, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun, and I think hopefully we can help some people along the way. We're doing a segment just for Gen Z. It used to be part of our Rednecks World News weekend update, but turns out this is too important and too serious to be part of such a...
Yeah, we kind of uncovered this happening
by
talking about it.
This
is a potential actual problem for these people.
We had to pull it out and make it a little more serial, super serial stuff we have here. Yeah, all the complainers, man. We're here to take
always
action.
complain, and no answers and no solutions.
So
problems,
the rules are
problems.
We're going to be looking at a bunch of Gen Z stuff. Feel free to stop us at any point. Ask me anything about getting along in this world. we will be happy to talk to you about anything. But I want to check out what are Gen Z up to these days? What are they looking at, and how are the rest of the world looking at them? So this is something I'm seeing a lot. Teachers done with Gen Z. Apparently teachers teachers are at their wits' end, and they are on a mass exodus. And I thought it was like, when I was in school, I thought it was bad. I was like, whoa. Yeah, and we had some teachers start quitting and all this stuff, and it was like, the bad kids are getting worse. But I think it's got to the point that not only are the kids bad, the teachers are bad, the parents are bad, the system is bad, the structure is bad.
Well, the system is, I think,
like everything all cooperatively is now bad. Before it used to be like glimmers of hope here and there, but now we just got a conglomerate of bad, and it finally has like amalgamated into the abomination that we have today.
Congealed, you might say.
And now the teachers are finally like, whoa, this is so bad, even we can't handle it. So let's check this out.
Apparently, teachers have had it. The kids have become too much, bro, and I cannot say that I'm surprised.
I'm a high school teacher. It is 4 weeks into the school year with students.
Can't hear anything.
I am at my limit already. I am at my limit with being talked to and demanded at so disrespectfully, interrupted constantly, repeating myself countless times. This year feels worse. This year feels worse than the last 5 years I've taught. I don't know if anyone else feels that way, but I feel like I've seen so many teachers make videos where we are all ringing the alarm saying, this is bad. This year is not good. It's not good. We are struggling, and not a lot of us are going to last if this continues, because I think there's a reckoning of teachers realizing like, I actually don't deserve to be treated like and then every day wipe that slate clean and start on over as if it didn't happen.
Them strong words.
High schoolers, I see it from videos of elementary school teachers and middle school teachers. I don't know when, as a society, we're going to wake up and say, our system is failing. Our students don't have basic respect or human decency.
I had a student.
That's the thing. The system is
That's
broke.
not good.
Yeah, because no one's teaching them anything except the parents will always stick up for the kid no matter how bad they're being, and then they won't get disciplined.
That's a problem. Yeah.
And even if you take care of your kids, the rest aren't getting that treatment. So like, you're putting your kid into a pen with a bunch of animals effectively and expecting something good to happen. Right. And these teachers have no power, and some of them are in the camp of like, oh, enable the kid to do whatever they want. They want to be a zebra, they're a zebra. Like, let them eat hay out of the back, Like, what are you talking about? Like, they have literally no self-control. And then the ones that do, they got to deal with this. So it's the same. Like, you're putting a bunch of crazy teachers that have literally no self-control. They're not teaching the kids anything except, be whatever you want to be, and it's fine. And everybody will cater to you and bend over backwards to like deal with your insanity. And you have zero consequences at all for anything you do ever. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Like, this is, hello. In a day, teachers, I think it maybe was too extreme, and this is a problem, right? You get the extremes. The teachers used to beat the hell out of the kids. Well, they had less behavior problems, but then you get a couple crazy teachers that would just beat the hell out of the kids. And that's not good either. But where's the balance? Like, if you have zero consequence, how can you ever change your behavior? Like, what do you think's going to happen here? They're just going to wake up one day and want to be different?
They told me, what you gonna do about it? Really? So I was ignoring them because we were out at tennis, and he was banging his racket. So I told him he had to sit down. He lost 5 minutes of tennis. And he was like, I don't care. I don't have to listen to you. I'm not gonna do it. What you gonna do about it? So then he was in my
these ones are all Gen Z teachers.
space. So I said, I need you to back up. What you gonna do? What am I gonna do? What are you gonna do? I don't know what else how to handle it. They say ignore negative behavior. So I was ignoring negative behavior, but he wanted a reaction. But now my anxiety is a little high and my nerves are a little fried, but he wanted a reaction. I was trying not to give him one.
I want you to send this video to anybody who can't understand why teachers are crashing out and quitting. I mean, they get their summers off, so like, what do they really have to complain about? I have brought visual aids. Here we go.
So these teachers are talking about Gen Z being a problem. So the teachers aren't Gen Z. What? So just to clarify.
Well, Gen Z aren't Gen Z like in their early 20s for the most part?
The older ones, I think.
Right. I thought that was like the younger ones were in their
13.
20s.
Yeah, so 13 to 28.
Oh, really?
So,
So
like,
it's preteens up to
yeah, these are like
young
your
adults.
middle
Okay.
and high school age.
I guess I was a little
kids.
skewed on what exactly Gen Z represented. I was
And
thinking
then-
the younger kids were Gen Alpha, but that's like
No, that's
little
the
kids
younger,
are Gen Alpha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
All
this
right.
is still before then, but even now the
Fair
Gen
enough.
Z are like ostracizing once you turn like 20, you're like an old man, and they'll start calling you like uncle or whatever, even if you're only like 15. It's like, okay, like age is extremely important. Like even like I don't know, like age is like so important to these people for some reason, and they really want to like distinguish like that line between a child and an adult, and they really want to like relish on the one side and then like instantly ostracize. And we'll look at some other people later, and I think it's kind of funny because you can see them like aging out of what you would perceive to be a Gen Z, and it's like, oh man, you're about to be ostracized, bro. You don't even realize it.
Right, you're gonna start
You're-
being lumped in with millennials.
The same thing you just was doing. That's about to happen to you. I can see your little mustache coming, and you got patchy hair on your face. You about to be an old man.
So everything I showed you on this green clipboard is going to represent when I started teaching in 2005, and everything on this red clipboard is 2025. I did not teach the full 20 years. I took 7 years off because I had children, and my husband's in the military. We moved a lot here.
How old is this lady? Damn, she looked good as hell for being 40 something. She looks like she's like 25.
Found as I was cleaning up my desk today. So this represents the year.
Yeah, she's got good
2005,
skin
and this is how many
or
students
good
are
filter
reading on
or
grade
lots of
level.
good
Everything in
makeup.
Blue. So
Not sure which.
one and a half students out of like a group are struggling readers, but pretty much everybody's reading
The
at least
problem
on
these
level,
days,
some
you can
even
never
higher,
say
okay?
for sure.
2025. How many of my students are reading on grade level? Okay, this next is
I don't know if you caught that, but she said the difference was like one or two, maybe 2.5 people couldn't read good before, and now half the class can't read good.
struggling readers, but pretty much everybody's reading at least on level, some even higher, okay? 2025. How many of my students are reading on grade level? Okay, this next is an average of how many of my students failed my class. Like they are going to have to repeat this. There's no recovering. They failed. This is 2005.
I think that's kind of weird because it's not like I think that has a lot to do with the family. To be honest, like family
But
life.
it's the
fact that kids don't
spillover.
read as kids, little kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're always
But
on their screens, even as little kids. So they're immediately like that's their source of everything.
Even if you
is a
try and
screen, one way or another.
even if you try and teach your kid to read though, and you do the right thing, and then you put them into the class here, and they're supposed to get the reinforcement and the additional like attention
and
and
then
learning,
not,
and
because
then they're not.
Teachers
So no matter
are
what,
probably struggling to get these ones that can't read at all to at least get to a functional level, and they're like can't pay any attention to the kids
if they
that at
even
least
are trying,
have
right?
that already. They're like, well, these kids are at least are ahead of the curve, right? And they're below average, but they're ahead of the curve. That's
And that's
really
what the whole
sad.
like no child
That's
left
bad.
behind or whatever. You
Yeah.
just drag everyone through, push everyone down. Like you got to be to the minimal expectation so that no one gets left behind. Instead of like
Jeez.
accelerating the people who can go, like accelerate them through it and let the people that are struggling take their time or like figure out how they need to learn. It's the most insane thing, and that's why I think really we got to move to homeschool. You cannot be expected to
homeschooling
learn
is
at
where
school.
most of my parent friends have chosen to go with their kids, but they have that ability to do so. If they don't, then most of them are in private schools.
Yeah, and reading speed is a thing, but if you can't have reading comprehension first, like how fast you can read is like way down the list. Like if you don't understand what you're reading, even if you're reading it slow, like we can't talk about speed yet. These are people that cannot read and comprehend what is being conveyed by that statement. Like they can read words and they might know the words. Like they know this word is spelled this way, and when they see it, it's that word. But when they put the words together and form a thought, it just doesn't work. Like they can read in terms of like, here's the words, but they can't read in terms of understanding what is being presented to them by those words.
0.5 student out of all of my students. This is this year. This is this year. On average, I teach about 100 students. On average, this is how many students in each class are not passing. They're going to have to take this class again. Okay, next, the orange represents in 2005 parent.
I didn't think they failed anyone. She's saying like a third of the class is failing.
I always had parents either in my inbox asking about lessons, volunteering for field trips, or anything that we needed for our classroom, volunteering supplies. 2005, 2025. Where are the parents?
Why did he clip it like this? Like,
I think part of it is they
see
failed the class. So they have to take the class over, but they probably don't get held back unless they're extremely unable to learn.
Well, that's just crazy. So now you're.
So there's still summer school and stuff, I'm sure, but.
Oh, it's like summer school. Okay.
Yeah, but not necessarily. Oh, you didn't pass English grade 2, so you're now in 2nd grade again. I mean, I suppose that did used to happen in the past. I think more often than it does now with the whole leave no kid behind, because it's part of it's like, you know, it makes them feel bad to be held back a grade when all their friends are in 3rd grade and they're still in 2nd grade.
Yeah, well, maybe that bad feeling will motivate them to not be a retard anymore.
It makes them a victim, so then that's going to just compound the problem, and it very well might. But like, it shouldn't be a problem. Like,
it shouldn't be a problem.
Like, there shouldn't be nearly this many kids that can't read. I mean,
I know.
Like, read? Like, come on. I mean, like, we're not even getting into math yet, and they can't do
know.
reading. I mean,
yeah, math. Yeah, right.
Involved in their school.
Right.
Behavior issues. Students
don't get me started on math.
To like write up on referrals,
Nemesis.
home, maybe have parent-teacher conferences for poor behavior. Out of a whole classroom, there was always like at least one bad apple. Okay. 2025. Put your cell phone away. Why are you showing up to my class 15 minutes late? Don't talk to me like that. Don't call them.
And this is the bigger of the problems, really, is like the fact that you're commingling these students, and now you have half the class. Like, you have one person who has to tell half the class to stop. Like,
kind of crazy.
And it's half the class, whether it's you're on your phone, you're late coming in, you're just talking to whoever's over here, you're literally out of your seat dancing, doing a TikTok video. This one's like asleep. Okay, at least he's not disruptive. Okay, what about this? It's like, holy crap. Like, literally, it's a freaking zoo.
It's like those 90s shows about the kids who couldn't learn, and then the spunky teacher comes in with their Marine background and gives them whatnot and teaches them despite themselves, and then they wind up loving them in the end. But there's no. So we need to go and get our new teachers. Need to come from the Marine Corps.
Yep. Bring them out of the Marines. That's all I'm hearing.
We've seen this story. It only has a happy ending when you're ex-Marine, soldier of fortune type guy who softens up because he met the woman of his life, or the love of his life has become a teacher, and he won't take any nonsense.
I think we need to start like putting this on.
Maybe
our
we should
Twitter
just send our teachers to like.
We are like unraveling the universe, and people are like oblivious to what's happening here. Like, we are literally solving the problems of America.
I think that's a perfectly legit and good solution to this problem.
How do we get Trump?
We're gonna toughen up our teachers.
Trump. We need the Marines not to be deployed. Well, we do need them in Chicago, but we need them. We need them in the summer school.
Send them to summer school to be teachers or be substitute teachers.
Oh my God, we are figuring it out.
One of the names of the movie was The Substitute, and he carried a bat in the picture, in the like poster picture.
The N-word. If there's anything that being a teacher has taught me, it's analyzing data and trends. And I just don't like the current trends. So that is why you are seeing teachers leaving, like in a mass exodus, just in droves, exiting the classroom this year. And everybody wants to blame COVID. That's a small part of it. Most of it has to do with parenting, screen time. You put a cell phone in the hands of a small child and just give them unfettered access to the internet. Do you think they care about what's going on in my class?
Do you honestly believe that these teachers are quitting their job 2 weeks into the school year because they're not getting paid enough, or because the politics that they're dealing with from outside of the classroom is too much to handle? No, that's not the reason. The reason why they're quitting is because these kids are mean, and they're making the classroom a war zone, and they're getting zero support from parents.
They're mean.
From
they hurt my feelings.
100% stems from.
That's why we got to toughen up the teachers.
Oh yeah, toughen the teachers. Oh my god. Well,
That's
yeah,
what
we
I'm
got to do both.
I'm
Tough
telling
teachers,
you.
stuff to
You can't
students.
blame the kids. It's not their fault. They're just got bad teachers, right? Bad parents and bad teachers. We can't change their parents.
And
We
no
can change the
fathers,
teachers
probably. I
by
think there's a
sending them
lot of
to
no
Marine-
fathers here.
Marine camp, whatever.
Or
basic
you get
training
these
is for
weak
Marines.
fathers like this
I mean,
guy.
we just send them to Army basic training too, I guess.
I guess. That's kind of... I mean, tough times need tough measures.
Exactly.
Day in and day out from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. inside their classroom. It's the stuff that you have to deal with inside your classroom that makes you burn out and makes you never want to come back. I understand that so many of our kids are dealing with rough lives at home and are dealing with trauma, dealing with mental illness, dealing with learning disabilities. All of those things make it difficult to thrive in school.
And this is the crazy shit I hear from a lot of these teachers, and they like always asterisk this out, like, oh, they have all these mental health issues and this and this. Why are all the kids having mental health issues? What are you talking about? You make it seem like 63% of the classroom is like mentally ill. And either, okay, let's say that's the case. Well, why are they together with the other 37% that's not? Like, can we start there? Can we take them out if they're so mentally deficient?
Maybe teachers will need like, maybe it should be like 2 teachers per classroom. Or 3. Like they're a team
just
of
split
teachers.
them into different.
Yeah, or just and split them up into smaller groups. Actually, smaller groups would probably be the most effective.
Yeah.
Like, you need more teachers either way, but if you have smaller groups of kids, it's a lot easier to maintain them, like, and keep them focused.
And if you have all
pay attention to them and
mentally
give them
ill
the attention
ones, put
that
them
they
over
need.
there. Yeah.
And you can group them together based on their common needs. Like these kids can't read. So they go into a class with a teacher who's really good at teaching kids how to read, right? Like, because sometimes it's about the teacher too. Like some teachers are just boring, right, as certain subjects, but other teachers are great at certain subjects, like the same subjects, right? So you just got to find the right teachers. And I think having the one common teacher for all kids on all subjects when you're young is maybe not the right way to go anymore. Because we have so many kids now, it's like, unless you're going to be able to hire more teachers and have smaller groups like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe when you're like young, but
breaking
at a
teachers
certain
up by
point,
subject more.
Because I think when you're young, it's a lot of like just managing the kids more than like.
I'm not talking about kindergarten. I mean, that's more about not hitting someone and using the bathroom.
But I think even really like your first couple grades, it's like, okay, it's really just learning some really basic shit.
Yeah, things would go out the window once we become adults. But especially sharing.
Well, even just stand in line and don't be an idiot. Like, where did that go? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I understand that. But the problem
I learned that from my mom. She'd hit me.
Are no
She'd
reason
slap my
to
hands.
treat
She'd say, "Stop fidgeting."
Piece of garbage.
Slap.
Regardless of your opinion of teachers, most teachers that I know wake up every single day excited to teach whatever lesson that they've spent hours planning and creating, and they want to have a meaningful experience with the students in their classroom. They want to have a good day. And I know, speaking for myself, I woke up every day praying that it was going to be a good day, praying that the kids that I had that day were going to be as excited about the content that I was ready to present as much as I was. And most days, that is not what I got met with. On the daily, teachers are getting cussed out, spit on, hit, flipped.
Oh, hell no.
Their equipment is getting...
Whoa! That would be a kid who took a nap unexpectedly on the floor. Like, whoa, I didn't realize spitting on someone would make me fall asleep all of a sudden. And I got a headache. I'm like, uh-huh. Yeah, think about that for a second, you idiot.
broken and stolen. There are bullies in class that are relentless, not just to their own fellow students, but to the adults.
These things also happened in the movies I was mentioning. All these things happened in those movies. They destroyed the guy's car. It's usually a guy, to be honest, but I don't think maybe in one of them it was a female teacher, but they like destroy their car. They'd like steal their stuff. Like ruin their notes, like whatever. They'd pretend like they were learning and then use that as an opportunity to like do something bad to the teacher again, and that kind of stuff. And then it always culminated in a finally, okay, I've done everything I can for you. Obviously, you people just want to be idiots. I'm out. And then the kids are finally like, no, but we need you. This is our last chance. We'll be good. We're for real. And then they buckle down and they get it done and they pass their test at the end of the year and they don't have to repeat.
Maybe this is the moment. All the teachers are leaving. They need to say, "Oh, yeah, no, we need you. We need
you, people. We need you. We're tough teachers. It's time to step up and take care of these kids."
I mean, we'll see.
Job. I'm speaking.
Preferably if you have mercenary background.
You would not put up with that. You would stay somewhere where you were treated with respect, and you knew that
extreme law enforcement.
If someone came every
like
single
SWAT,
day to your job,
maybe.
bullied you, hit you, cussed you out, rolled their eyes,
Army Rangers,
treated you like you were nothing, like you were garbage, you wouldn't want to come back either. You would put in your 2 weeks notice. But for some reason, so many people believe that we signed up for that. That we signed up for that because that's a part of teaching, and that's just how kids are. I made the decision.
That's not part of teaching
this year, and I haven't been in a classroom for months now, and I still have nightmares, trauma nightmares on a weekly basis.
Yeah, you're right, though. We should take the teachers and put them online and put the kids in a virtual environment.
Mm-hmm.
And then they can just meet for like sports and assemblies and
they can meet for like a much smaller amount of time,
like homecoming and prom.
And then you don't have to worry about it took 15 minutes to go from here to here in the building, and I had to take a dump.
Like, okay, you don't want to show up? We don't care. It's prom.
Well, even that, like
you're prom.
You're at if you're at home and you can pop in and out of the different classes just by like switching into a different room or whatever, like what does it matter? And at the end of the day, even that, like, go ahead. You want to do math all day? Do math all day. Who the hell cares? Just at the end of the semester, you got to be able to do science too. So, like, figure out how to manage your time, right? Or, like, whatever. It can be literally so many things because budgeting, even if it's time budgeting, right? Like, how do I make sure I've budgeted enough time to each thing to make sure I can, at the end, pass? Or, like, actually prepare for the real world where your boss says, hey, I need you to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. And here's like, when I need them, and you can figure out, okay, I need this much time on this and whatever. And, buffer for that. And this is how I get it all done. Like, I don't want to have to sit down and put things on your calendar for you. So, when you need to do, like, what the hell is that? Like, be proactive. But this is the problem. Like, school's not teaching that. And then the little bit they're supposed to be teaching are not teaching that either, because half the students are either disruptive or mentally deficient, or they think they're,
drink.
They're so hung up on trans things or whatever. It's like, oh my God, like we're not learning anything at home. We're not learning anything at school. We're not taking the time to learn on our own, because why would we? Everyone's told us we're good enough. Like, that's why we're stuck here.
And meet Gym Monster 2.
Gym Monster 2.
Compact design fits anywhere.
My former students.
Yeah, I'm curious about y'all.
She's having traumatic nightmares.
Right,
Holy crap!
Is it fear mongering, or is this a fair assessment of what's taking place in the education system, bro? I'm inclined to think that this is, reasonable. You know what I mean? Just considering where we are in society, bro, because society's cooked. Society is cooked. You got adults out here acting like kids, so I can't imagine how the kids really act in the schooling system, bro. And this is team.
And how many of these rallies and stuff you see, it ends up being teachers that are here doing all this crazy shit. The lady who got fired for doing the Charlie Kirk thing, and I don't know, a lot of these, like, I don't know, do teachers just, how do they have so much time to go to these rallies and do all this nonsense, and then they expect their kids to be good? Like, you're going out into the real world with real adults and behaving worse than your kids are behaving in school. And then this is kind of like karma, except now everybody got to deal with it, because karma said, well, fuck you, we're going to make the kids bad. So you can see what it's like. And now we all have to deal with it.
Okay, I've seen countless videos of damn kids in classrooms beating teachers up, bro. It's like just thinking about parents' motivation to be a teacher now, man. All right, because teachers typically are good people. They want to help. They want to get back. They want to mold the next generation, man. But the next generation is cooked, and it goes into a lot of things we discuss on this channel here about, forecasting how society is going to be based on how we're acting right now, how adults are acting right now, how kids are acting right now, and everything right now is just going south. Everything's going downhill. You got a clear-cut example of that right now, man. I mean, social media being the trigger behind it all. Social media is poisoning everybody. I can imagine how
social media is the devil.
Things are bringing to the classroom. These teachers, their hands are tied. They can't.
Worst.
And part of the problem too, you can't even tell half the time if people on there are serious or are they even from the country. Is it bots? Is it I feel like the AI is infiltrated and just trying to cause dissent. Okay, here's how I get all the people to kill each other. I'll just post a bunch of crazy shit on their social media and it's easy. Oh my God.
I think the best decision I ever made about social media was to just ignore it.
Yeah. I don't use that shit.
Don't use it. I still technically have to use Facebook once in a while, but it's just for communication. I don't scroll through anything. And the couple times I almost got into an argument with someone for no good reason. It's just it's not going to change anything. I'm just going to get myself angry. I could possibly damage a relationship I have. I mean, it's not like my best friend or anything. It's just acquaintance, but still, I don't want to ruin their day. And I'm just going to stop myself. But it's so easy, and I can understand why it's ruining our society. So, unfortunately, I don't think that's gonna change unless the AI changes it for us somehow, one way or another, or just the complete collapse of society, and we just don't have the internet anymore, and then we can rebuild without it. But of course, we'll probably bring it back once we rebuild it, and it'll just happen all over again. So,
yeah. Well, I think the internet was rolled out kind of Wild West, which I'm all for it. Great, I'm glad, but
I think the internet itself is not good or bad. Just like a lot of things, even guns, they're not themselves a good or a bad thing. They can be used for good and they can be used for bad. They're just a tool. The internet is also just a tool, but unfortunately, we found great ways of using it to make money without giving two whips about the repercussions of that down the line. Short-sightedness or just apathy, just not caring. I made $6.8 billion this year. What do I care about 12-year-olds and their addiction to screens?
To me, the biggest thing though with social media though is the anonymity. If you were not anonymous on social media,
the anonymity is really makes people emboldened to be complete a-holes. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think
because it doesn't.
If we had some sort of,
if I'm hurting someone I don't know, that's basically I'm not even hurting anyone because they're not really a person, right? And plus, they don't know who I am, so it's not going to come back at me.
Yeah, exactly, and it won't exactly. The repercussions of my actions aren't there anymore, and that's what's happened at school, and that's why school fell apart. That's what happened with social media. That's why that shit's falling apart. If they made you I think even Facebook, at least you kind of you can put up a fake account, but they pretty much cater to okay, you're a person, show your face type of thing.
Yeah.
These other sites, not as much at all. And
not
you
at
get
all.
Whoever with the funny letters in their name that's a bunch of weird symbols and this and that. And it's okay, well, this person saying all these and this person don't even exist. Why is anyone listening to anything? And you can't have, this isn't discourse. It's just craziness. And you're kind of convoluting the two. And it's oh my God. And you get these little bubbles and people reinforcing these just psychotic viewpoints. That's what to stay away from. Sometimes I'll look at it and be oh my God, more of a reference to what's happening. I'll scroll X sometimes, just whatever's in my feed, but I don't engage it because I know that shit will it's addictive in a weird way.
Is to engage, in my opinion. Yeah, unless you're trying to sell something on Facebook Marketplace,
it's not good. There's no benefit from it. It's just only you feel worse at the end. You feel worse while you're doing it. You feel anxious going into
anything. That's the thing. It never accomplishes anything. At least nothing good. Like, you're never going to change someone's opinion on social media. Like I don't think if that has ever happened in the history of the world, I would be shocked. Like,
it just doesn't
it's
happen.
not, social media is not there to help you. It is not there to do anything good for you.
I was having an argument with someone on Reddit about some financial stuff, and they were like they were being such an aggressive piece of shit for like no reason. And at some point they finally like made a statement that was like reasonable, like buried within a bunch of other garbage. And I was like, bro, I'm trying so hard. Like you finally said something reasonable, but it's covered in all this other nasty shit that like it makes it like I genuinely want to get a benefit from this, so I'm going to take the time to like disseminate it, but like if you could just avoid the nasty attacks for no reason, we would be in a much better spot because you could have said something productive. I could have said something productive, and we would have just had a productive engagement. And it would have been great. But instead, it was terrible.
Instead, now my head hurts and I feel dumb.
So what the hell?
Dumber than I was when I started.
I really like this guy. I think anyone, young person, should definitely at least check out some of his stuff. It's definitely worth it. And even the way that he's like presents things, like I would challenge you to really consider like behaviors and your own behaviors. And I'll catch myself sometimes kind of going off the rails. And it's like, if you see someone who really is in charge, that just doesn't. I mean, it can happen, but like they can just calmly take it and put it right back to order, or they can like really make you feel like shit for doing that. And I think he is kind of like that. And I think that's such a boss level move if you can do it. And that's something that you should strive for, not screeching and, you know, being complete psycho. Like, be a boss that makes people just like, they don't even think about it. They're just like, oh my God. Like, it's just initial reaction is like, this guy's a boss.
Gen Z, there's a very high likelihood this video is going to piss you off.
I'm so upset.
Trigger you. You may have your microaggression type of a moment. But for those of you that are higher Gen Zs, you're going to say, I agree with some of this stuff. But this is purely for some of you that are between 12 to 27 years old, born between 97 and 2012, that you want to find a way to have a fighting chance.
12 to 27?
Watch this video in its
huge range.
Well, that's Gen Z.
Like, I can kind of understand, like, is a Gen Zer, what does a 13-year-old Gen Zer have in common with a 28-year-old Gen Zer? Like, nothing? Very little? But they're still lumped together. That's kind of, I don't know. I don't think the generational, I guess the range is, what, 20 years? I guess it does make sense. I just didn't think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. They could probably be smaller, especially with technology ramping so much. Like the amount of time in between like fundamental societal changes and like technological advancements was probably, you know, significantly longer.
It's just technically a generation I think is 20 years, but
well, even that now people are having kids later and all this stuff.
We're not using it as a time term. We're using it as a chronological term. We're using it as a cultural term to define a group based on their age.
Yeah.
So,
well, I mean, it's things they grew up with, you know, like
things they grew up with.
We grew up without cell phones, and then we got cell phones. They grew up with cell phone. They grew up with internet. We got internet at some point.
We grew up with television and
screens, you know,
and electricity and people having landed on the moon.
We had cable network and they have YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like we had YouTube, but not to the same extent, like as it's the primary thing that you get your, you know, media from, where
information from. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's I mean, there's
I don't think they do that anymore. I'm pretty sure the kids are all on TikTok now. I don't think they bother with
or
YouTube.
Whatever.
YouTube's for boomers, man.
Yeah, YouTube's too slow. Exactly. That's the thing. They need like oh my God, when I open up, no, I don't know if I have TikTok, but I think, what is it? Snapchat? Like, I don't know.
I refuse.
These things are just, they're the dumbest things. And they're like,
just going to destroy my brain even more than I've already destroyed my brain.
Exactly. So there's no substance to any of it.
On my own. I don't
you need to just avoid it.
Charlie, watch this. New statistics. Do you know what percent of Gen Z workers claim they experience burnout at work?
I get scheduled for 25 hours a week and literally about to quit.
Not 20%, not 40%.
He said he got scheduled for 25 hours and he's about to quit because it's too hard. And he's a barista, it looks like, at Starbucks.
Wait, 25 hours meaning that's too many hours, or he's upset he's not getting enough hours?
See, you are too old. You're assuming he's upset he's not getting enough hours. No, he's upset he's working too much.
That's not even close
he
to full time.
He needs more mental health time than that.
Too much.
Yes, he needs less.
Like nothing, bro.
He needs more time with his therapist. Paid time.
Gosh.
He needs 32 hours with the therapist for every 8 hours of work.
Maybe if it was like he worked 12-hour No, sorry. I can't. Yeah, I can't do it. I was trying. I can't.
If he worked one 24-hour shift, I'd be like...
I mean, unless they don't let you use the bathroom, like this, we're talking like Amazon warehouse stories, and you have to carry your bottle around with you. But I mean, 12 hours isn't even that bad. I mean, jeez.
I know. Especially
it's like you're being tortured.
Coffee.
You're being paid to do a job.
You're being paid to make coffee.
Right. You're making what?
I know. 89% of Gen Z is burnt out from a normal work week.
89%?
89!
At or under the age of what it was at 29? That's kind of
28,
nuts.
I think, is the upper bound.
28? Oh my gosh. Gen Z, what are you doing?
Not 80%, not 90%, 98% of you.
98? I thought it was 89. 98%.
I said 89.
98%.
That's basically all of them. That's like all of them except the super rich 2% who don't have to work anyway. So they're not burned out, right?
Oh my God.
So even like the top 5% are burned out because like what? They're not making enough? I don't know.
Holy moly.
You experience burnout
Every single day, go and work somewhere and do that 5 times a week.
How?
That was the substance of that clip. Apparently, was just you got to go somewhere and work for 5 times every single week.
She seems a little old to have just figured that out, though. I don't know. I think
we're gonna see later. I think I took these out, but Gen Z apparently is aging a lot faster. So you think that person's old?
We saw that,
but she might only be 16.
You're right. She might be 12.
Exactly. Because of all the damn hormones, and I think all these trans people are like pheromoning out hormones to their peers, and it's just fucking every single person in the class.
Like a retrovirus.
Yeah, they're radioactive, more or less. It's just disgusting.
Oh, you're in your early 20s. Watch this. 23% face unmanageable.
Is that what they call it in Star Trek?
23% face unmanageable levels of stress. It is unmanageable. Because the 9 to 5 is killing my dreams. Unmanageable. Meaning like full on breakdown. I can't move because I'm like crippled with anxiety and fear and stress to the point that I've immobilized my body because my brain can't handle it. 23. Am I the only one that's understanding this right now? 23%.
Stress and 48% feel drained. According to a Cigna survey, Gen Z is the most stressed generation of all time. Gen Z, there's a very high
This part I kind of understand, but I kind of don't. Like, why are they so stressed out?
Exactly.
Like, what's different about their situation than other people's situations that makes them uniquely suitable to being completely stressed out? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
Gen X grew up with the Cold War. Like, the constant threat of nuclear annihilation is a little existential to grow up with, but with like the attitude was like, what the hell, whatever, doesn't matter. We're calling it nuked anytime, but maybe we won't
be obliterated at any moment.
It hasn't happened yet, so maybe it won't happen. You just deal with it. I mean, we had like the silent generation, I think they were called, who were like between World War, like they were born during the war, but then they grew up with like rationing and like a growing economy, and then everything was booming. There's the baby boomers, of course, who grew up even more into that. I don't know. I mean, everyone's got their thing.
Yeah, I know. I don't know. And they always say, oh, COVID, oh, the world shut down. We didn't get our prom and blah, blah, blah.
I know. It
affected literally everyone. And it was like 2 years.
2 years, and it was a pain in the butt, and it was
a pain in the butt.
Shut everything down, but
it was a pain for everybody.
It's kind of like a lesson learned, in my opinion. And it's like, there was some damage, but it could have been a lot worse. Just saying, could have been worse.
It could have been worse. That's true. I think it was unnecessary to begin with, and I think it caused a lot of just crazy bullshit.
I think it was way too. For something that was medical, it became way too political. And I think the worst thing that have happened is all the people who adopted animals and then abandoned those animals afterwards.
Why are you saying that? What are you talking about? Don't say stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who are like, I'm lonely, I'm going to get a cat, or I'm lonely, I'm going to get a dog, and I'm going to adopt it, and from the pound, and then they're like, I don't want this cat anymore, I don't want this dog anymore, let him outside.
Oh hell no! If any one of you listening did that, you're a piece of shit, and I hope you have a very terrible day today.
This little special corner of hell is laid out just for you.
Yeah, what the hell? That's not cool. All right. Well,
PDF files.
Apparently, Gen Z has found the solution to beat inflation forever. Let's find out. Because I don't think
this is Early Exit, a young, hardworking, ambitious, and very successful 25-year-old Zoomer by any objective metric. From the time he was a
Z is a Zoomer. Got it. So this person is, and this is what pisses me off too, as we're about to find. I might freak out. Just fair warning. We might have a situation in just a few seconds.
Are Gen Zers called Zoomers?
I think so. Otherwise, I don't know why he just called him a Zoomer.
Kid, he did literally everything by the book.
Literally everything
of the way.
by the
Top
book.
Of his class in high school, graduated from a great college, and now has a $125,000 salary as a software engineer.
Okay, $125,000 as a software engineer.
That's good money.
You would think so, but not really, honestly. And especially as a software engineer, and especially when they tell you where he lives.
Cool American dream success story, right? Well, unfortunately, not. You see, Early Exit recently blew up on YouTube for sharing his experiences of how, despite earning well over 6 figures as a 25-year-old, he's still struggling to get by in this economy and this broke.
How are you 25 if you just are graduating? You took 7 years to graduate with a software engineering degree, or what are you talking about?
Well,
now
I don't know. He's probably been there for a couple of years. I don't think he's
already brewing up.
I don't think you get that much money out of the gate, do you? Like, don't you have like a start at the bottom sort of a thing? Like make sure you can actually do what you say you can do?
No, it just depends where you're working.
Really? Okay. I should have become a software engineer.
It's these damn kids recklessly wasting money on iPhones and avocado toast. Unfortunately for them, the facts, numbers, and evidence, however, tell a totally different story. In his video, Early Exit did a fantastic job breaking down the raw facts and numbers, proving how it's legitimately difficult to live off $125,000 now, no matter how well you budget. Let's do a quick breakdown and summary here. First of all, he lives in New York City, which...
Oh, well, that's part of his problem.
Yeah.
You can't do this remotely working from West Virginia?
Yeah, exactly. So apparently Yeah, exactly. So
I
apparently,
mean, you don't have to. I mean, I use West Virginia as an example of like poverty a lot. I apologize for anyone who's in West Virginia, and I have actually not really been to West Virginia. I've only driven through it. It was a beautiful state, so I can't really. I shouldn't.
But it's
that.
probably
but let's just
not
say
the highest cost of
less
living area.
expensive cost of living than freaking New York City, which is just about anywhere that's not California. So, like, I mean, for being a software anything, I'm pretty sure you can do your job remotely, especially if you're good at it and people want you. So, I mean, continue.
So, I
apologize. I was just a little surprised.
I'm assuming this guy isn't that good actually
a year
as an engineer. Yeah, exactly. If you're in New York City, and
if you're in like Manhattan, no, then that's like your rent right there, $125K a year.
Yeah. So first off, why are you living there? You're fucking
poor,
retarded,
right?
and you're going to complain you can't afford to live in the most expensive. Literally, most of the country can't. So fuck you. Why are you even like? This is literally why I get so angry with these idiots. Is they're like not even starting
how they're. It's like poor me, I'm broke, but it's like, well, why are you broke? And then you look at it, it's like, well, because you're an idiot. That's why.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're an idiot,
okay,
and you decided that everyone else should support you.
This is a problem of you.
Yeah,
like you're a moron. Like you make this much money, which suggests you're not a moron. Yet your life choices clearly state that you're an idiot. Okay.
Yep. And so, from my perspective, if you're making $125 a year in New York City, you're probably not very good. And if they're making you come into the office, then you're probably not very good.
If they expect you to be on site and living in New York City, then they have to pay you accordingly. But they would save so much money by just having you off site.
But this is paying accordly for someone who's not very good. That's what I'm saying. Like you're getting 125, which you would think like that's good, but it's not.
2 or 5, right? Because rent's like $7,500 a month in New York City, Manhattan.
This is really like I really wish Gen Zers would see this and hear this and really understand this instead of like, oh no, we need to just tax the rich people. Let's tax the rich people so I can live in New York and be not even good at anything that I do, but I really want to live here, and let's just tax all the rich people and take their money, and then I can live here too and be a complete piece of shit because I'm sure everyone wants me here after I take all their money.
Like all the rich people in New York are like, I'm out.
I hope
like
so,
I'm gone. I think
the problem
the whole
is
state actually. Because I think the state depends so much on the success of the city.
I know that's the problem, and frankly, it's like giving up in a way, which is okay. But it's like once you give up that power to the crazies, and now they can start voting on shit that affects you. It's like, oh man. So to an extent, it's like
the downside too.
Leaving is like, yeah, it's an option, but you've also then like empowered the crazies even more in some way. Which
you're basically
now, if we could leave in a way that they can't affect us anymore, yes, I would 1,000 billion trillion support that to infinity and beyond. I'd be like, y'all can have any reasonable portion of this country, take it, get the fuck out of here. We're putting up a wall. I never want to see you again. Good luck. Because it's going to be Escape from LA within 6 months, 100 billion%.
Walls divide. They're not a solution.
Exactly. Walls divide the crazies from the not crazies. I agree with your statement. Oh my God. And I say whatever. All the rich people are going to be on our side. We'll have all the money anyway. We'll just get all the poor people. You go over there, tax each other to oblivion, take all each other's shit, live your communist ass life. I'm sure you'll love it. When you begging to come back in, we'll be like, put on this MAGA hat, and when you turn into a vampire and dust onto the floor, we'll know you're not serious. Oh my God.
I would prefer re-education over separation.
Re-education? That sounds very propaganda to me. We're going to put you in this room, and until you get it right, you're not coming out.
We'll make some special facilities. We'll call them camps.
Yeah, it'd be like summer
We'll just
camp,
take all the
right?
people who we decide are not smart enough, and we'll put them in those camps, and we'll teach them things.
We will teach them the
And
right things that they
be-
need to
like
know.
the right things they need to know to become productive members of society, and then we'll let them go. And when they prove their worth and their value,
Once they've proven they've been educated,
I'm sure there's
they may
no problems
re-enter
with this at
society.
just off the top of my head, but as far as I can tell, this is a perfect solution that has no
That
flaws.
sounds
So let's do
100%
it.
perfect to me. But anyway,
Shall we
so
continue and find out why this guy who makes probably about $500,000 a year somehow is broke?
no, and then he's going to say, no matter
Wait,
how you, he's going to say,
that is more than $500,000 a year, easily.
no, this is
Isn't it?
this is 1/8 of a million. Did you learn how to do math?
Oh, per year. I'm sorry, I was thinking that was per month.
Oh, monthly? Yeah, then this guy would be a complete idiot. If you
He'd be
can't
super
live
rich.
off of 125K a month, you are retarded.
I would hope so. And then why are you making that much, and how can I do it too?
Yeah, exactly. Like if your dumbass can make
Right.
like shit. Anyway, so this guy apparently thinks he did everything right, making 125K a year at software engineering in New
Still
York.
a lot
Now,
of money.
as a
It's
reference,
still a ton of money. in my
I
opinion.
pay Michigan developers that are local. I pay $140,000 a year.
What?
As a relative perform, and they're not top level by any
What?
imagination, but
Why am I not on your payroll then?
what I'm saying is
You don't have
125
to pay me
for
that much.
a software developer in New York is like, you are not good. Like these are mid-level devs in Michigan, and they're making more than this guy. So just as a reference, just so people have a reference point of like, this guy is not impressive at all to me, like at all.
Is a non-negotiable living expense that he can't just
Non-negotiable living expense. Well, I'm pretty sure you chose to live there.
out of. His job is literally located in NYC, and if he tried to move to a smaller, more affordable city, his salary would be much less, and he'd be right back to where he started.
Really? Where can you hire a software engineer anywhere in the country for less than this? Like one, and especially significantly less. So if you're saying a significant,
How old is this? 5 days. Okay. Yeah, never mind.
yeah, exactly. This is like
Sometimes you have to check. It's like, oh, is this like 6 years old? Oh, no. It's from yesterday. Okay.
25-year-old, exactly. That's insane.
NYC has some of the highest tax rates in the country, and as a result, after taxes,
Yeah, and the taxes are going up. So
that's true.
Well, I guess they're only
Taxes
taxing
are going up
people
now that you have
make
a
more than
socialist
million.
mayor in the city. Taxes are definitely not going
Socialist, yeah,
down.
right. He's a full-on communist. Like he is all the way extreme. He's talking about getting rid of the right to private property.
What?
Yeah.
How can
Like
you do that?
Well, you bring in the military
Can't
and
do
you
that.
take everyone's stuff. That's how you do it.
Like, so New York City will be this little communist city surrounded by a capitalist democratic republic. I don't.
Somehow, apparently, in their brain, yes, you're gonna have.
Okay. I don't think that's allowed. That's all I'm saying. And there's rules in place to prevent
This
that
is this is
junk.
what the people are voting for, because that's how educated these people are.
If you live
This
in New
is
York
why
City,
we need to
I
get
will
rid
say
of.
shame on you unless you tried to stop it, in which case shame on your neighbors.
Mhm.
And you got a lot of work cut out for you. So good luck.
Yeah, they got a lot of work cut out for them.
He's there now.
Well,
There's not much you
how
can
they
do about
couldn't
it, so that
motivate
you
the
can
other
vote
people
again.
to vote. So either everyone went out and voted, and there's just more of the crazies, which is possible.
I think
or
it is. There's a lot of crazy people there because the crazy people tend to really congregate into the big cities. There's not much bigger than New York City.
because you get all the social programs and
Right.
handouts, you get more foot traffic for your
a
tip
lot
jar.
more of that. Yes, absolutely, and a lot less, and a lot more like cultural acceptance for that as well. Like out in the country, like people look at you sideways. They're like, "You're getting handouts?" Like, huh? Real man doesn't need handouts. Real man takes
Real
care of his family.
man!
Yeah.
They took our Yeah, man. I don't know. So, but that's what I'm saying. So they voted for it. So either they couldn't rally the people. So either you had money and you just don't give a shit enough to the point that you couldn't even be bothered to vote, or you all went out and voted and you just live with more crazy people than sane people. And frankly, I think that and we'll see a little bit about this later, but I think that underscores the fact that you should not. I think we need to raise the voting age. You need to be.
I kind of agree.
Like 35 or older.
Laughable when I first heard it, and after I thought about it for a while, I'm like, well, I think maybe it should actually be 21. Because if you're not allowed,
it need to be older than that.
You're not sensible enough to be allowed to drink alcohol.
I say 25 is the
lowest.
lowest.
Sensible enough to vote for the future of our nation or our communities. Right.
I agree. Whatever the minimum law age requirement is, that's what it should be.
Then now I'm thinking you should do like a step program. Like you let them vote at 21 for local stuff.
For local only, yeah.
And then like at 24 you can vote for state level.
But only if they actually have voted locally. You have to like track
you can
it.
Vote on the president and national stuff and like
I like that. I like that.
And there could be exceptions for like veterans, because if you put in time as as service, I think maybe it should be lowered. But
I'm okay with that.
But for the most part,
if you're willing to put your life on the line, you're allowed to vote.
They're an adult first, and the only way you can prove you're an adult is to live until you're at least 32.
Until you're an adult,
right? And be outside of your parents' house. You can't be someone's dependent. If you're
and you
someone's
can't be a dependent.
You don't
100 billion%.
Right, until you're an independent adult or you're part of a family unit.
I like all of this.
Like
what
marriage.
You're saying right now.
See, I'm like, it's flawless, perfect.
Did you slip in one last thing while I was babbling that women shouldn't be allowed to vote till marriage?
No.
Because I like that one too, actually.
Independent or part of a family unit. Because, like, as a wife who's a traditional wife who, like, doesn't have an outside the home job.
Oh, that's not a dependent. That's like
upon her husband.
Isn't that like joint still though?
I'm saying that she should still be able to vote, as she should still be able to vote as an independent adult on her own. So I'm just saying. And then once you reach that certain age, you should just be able to vote.
No,
doesn't matter what you're.
I say women should not be allowed to vote unless they're married.
I don't. Well, I don't necessarily disagree with this. I don't think it'll go over well. It'll hurt our chances. So I'm just going to leave that one out.
We'll leave that one for last to fight about.
We're going to do a Thomas Jefferson.
We won't bring up that one.
It's not going over right now, so we're just going to put that one to the side. We're going to put in a little
just for now, though.
For the future that they can use to actually get rid of this junk that we know we don't like.
Yeah, later we'll circle back to it.
Right.
We have more important things. We need to focus on just raising the age, and then we can focus on getting rid of the women.
Exactly. Wait.
I say unless you are the head of the household.
We can't backtrack on women's suffrage. It's not fair.
You have to be head of household and make more than poverty. Those two things, then you're allowed to vote as a woman.
I don't know. Poor people should be able to vote.
No!
How else would they get out of poverty?
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's how Zoran Mamdani won, you idiot.
Well,
all the dumb poor people fucking went and voted.
I know, but they still need to be represented.
There's more poor people than rich people, so if they just go vote to take the rich people's money, you think that's fair?
Freedom isn't perfect, but it's worth
fighting for. But do you think that's fair?
What?
There's more poor people than rich people. So if they all got together and voted to take the rich people's money, you think that's fair?
Yeah, that's called the Democratic Party.
Yeah, that's called the Democratic. You're correct. But that's not what I asked. That's not what I asked. Bobby, you came in at a perfect time.
Pretty sure.
We need a tiebreaker. Should women be allowed to vote?
I say yes. It's not about gender, but about your dependencies.
And should poor people be allowed to vote?
You can't vote. Period, because you're someone else's dependent. So
But that just means you're poor. If you're a dependent, that puts you in the poor.
No, I mean it could be someone's kid, or like
kids are poor in general.
School, and your parents are cool enough to let you stay with them.
And school age kids are generally poor also,
or something like that. Yeah, because they're in debt.
That's what I'm saying. If you're a dependent, you're poor. That's one and the same.
Yeah, you're still dependent to their parents.
Yeah, it depends on the woman if they're not crazy. But I'm saying a qualifier to that is either you're married or you're the head of a household that makes a certain income or more. Because if you're just a crazy old cat woman with blue hair that goes out to one of these rallies every fucking day, I don't give a shit what you're voting on.
Now you're starting to stoop to their level. We can't do that.
No.
We have to be able to still allow them to have.
This is where you're wrong. This is where you're wrong. If they had values the same as us, yes, that's accurate. When you don't have same values, it's not accurate. It's flat out not accurate because and we'll see more of this later too if I remembered to put it in here, but it's the same.
Not the American way.
Yes, it is.
That is not.
It is.
Nope. No, it's not. It's not even the MAGA way.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
Nope.
You will learn something here, sir.
You're not changing my mind.
Oh, that's a very democratic statement right there. So
I love America. I love the cats.
You're going to have to watch more. And you're going to have to get re-educated, Mr. Freaky.
Already down to only $80,000 per year. Then you have to factor in that the average rent in NYC is $4,000 per month, which means after taxes and rent alone, he's already down to $32,000 per year. All right.
Again, because this guy's a complete retard and decided to live somewhere that took 65% of his paycheck for rent and taxes.
What was the first number?
Taxes.
And the second number is rent. Oh, I see. Rent. Okay.
So $93,000.
That's a lot of taxes.
Just exactly, and they still have a shit city. And you're telling me because the poor people get to vote that it must be right. They're just taking all the money, and it's still trash. So what is happening?
That's a lot in taxes.
It's a lot. I agree.
I assume this is property taxes because he's paying rent. I assume this is just
This is state and federal taxes, exactly. And city or whatever, if they have city taxes, yeah.
I'm sure they do. Absolutely they do. I'm sure New York City has city taxes.
So, I mean, you just chose to live somewhere that sucked $93,000 of your life away.
Right,
and then they're going to complain, oh, we need to just cap rent. Okay. Well, how does that work? You're going to tell someone who paid $10 million for this property what they're allowed to charge someone else to live there for?
So he's not only poor, but he's in massive debt just because he's living in New York City, according to this. Right?
Well, he's got $32K left over because he had 125 to start, right? So this is what's left over, 32.
Oh, okay.
So he's still got almost $3,000 a month.
I didn't see the number changed, and I you know me in numbers. I'm like number blind. Okay.
So I think and if you're like,
so now he's in a little below average, but still living wage for most people in the country
with housing taken care of.
$32,000 a year. Right. Yeah. With now his house, that's before housing for most people. So
exactly,
that's what he's got left. That's not horrible.
I know, and he's
in New York
complaining.
City, he doesn't have a car, so he doesn't have to worry about car insurance or maintenance or gas. So transportation is generally cheap in the big city because you got the subway.
Yeah, just everything, man.
Dating. If he's not dating, he's saving a whole lot of money. So,
well, that's a whole different ball game. Like, we don't want to even go into that territory.
So, what does that leave? Food and
I don't know. That seems like
entertainment and I guess insurance. He hasn't covered health insurance and stuff, but I assume that's probably part of his job package.
Probably at least some of it. I don't know. We got 32K left over. Let's
Rent
find
and
out.
taxes are not avocado toast, iPhones, or eating out all the time. They are non-negotiable living expenses you have.
They are negotiable. This is why you're so dumb. See, these people start from the dumbest standpoint. Oh, it's non-negotiable. Yeah, you don't work. This is literally you chose to live somewhere that this is true.
He's paying. Was that $4,000 per month in rent?
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, did that math right? Cool.
Which honestly, but not for New York.
But honestly, not for New York, and he can offset that by getting roommates, which I think most people in New York do. That's why they all live in these.
I think this will probably be for like a very small. I think this would be for a very small. Like I don't think you could realistically have a roommate.
I'm gonna check. I mean, yeah, I'm not assuming he's living in a luxury apartment, but 4,000 seems. I don't know.
1 bedroom is 33, a studio 37. Studio here. In the Bronx 22. Bronx. So I guess depends, but where?
Yeah, the location matters. I'm
assuming he's probably in his, not in the ghetto because he's, a successful 25-year-old college graduate.
The average rent for Manhattan is about $5,500 per month. So that's actually below average.
Exactly.
So he's actually paying below average.
Yeah, so
it ranges between
he probably would not be able
1,100
to have like a roommate without moving into like a ghetto or something.
But also, Manhattan super matters if you're in upper or lower Manhattan. I think lower Manhattan is where it's really expensive, and then upper is where the buildings have to be smaller because there's no bedrock or something like that, so they can't build as tall, and they're cheaper because it's like less desirable area, I guess. It's also not as close to where all the action is.
No matter what. Delusional boomers might chime in saying, you could just get a roommate to cut back on rent, but this is the dumbest, most nonsensical logic I've ever heard. This example, living with roommates is supposed to be for teenagers and college students, not for a middle-class working professional. If a guy making 6 figures a year needs roommates just to get by, that is the system failing, not him. These are the same people who say that you should be getting married.
Wow. Not the system.
Holy crap. These people are so fucking delusional, I swear. And he's like, this is the dumbest thing because you can't be expected to have a roommate. If you choose to live in the most expensive place in the fucking world and you decide you can't make enough, but you can't, oh no, I'm a successful 25-year-old college graduate. I could never have a roommate. Fuck you. This is your entitled ass. This is why you're never going to succeed, dude. Like, ever. You're going to be a victim forever. Oh, man, grow up. Oh, it makes me so angry.
And starting a family around this age, so I don't know how they tell you to start a family and then literally turn around and tell you to get a roommate in the exact same sentence. Like, what? Do I just raise a family of 3 with my roommates living in the basement or something? I don't know how that would work exactly. So, out of the $32,000 remaining, transportation costs easily add up to $1,000 per month, if not more, between car payments, gas, and insurance.
What are you talking about? Car payment, gas, and insurance? You do not drive in New York. And if you are an even bigger idiot.
Yeah, if you're paying a $4,000 a month for an apartment in Manhattan to live in Manhattan, and you're owning a car in said city, you're a moron. Like, it costs like $50 an hour to park your car in Manhattan, like in a parking garage, like the kind you just pay like $2 for in any other city in the world. It's like $50.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah, because they don't want cars because there's too much traffic.
You expect long-term storage to be cheap, and plus you gotta drive through all that like traffic. It's like what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's a super luxury item in Manhattan. Like, you just don't need it. There's no point.
But of course, all of this is non-negotiable, and we're just completely crazy for like not understanding the plate, you know?
So that means all the people who worked really hard and made a bunch of money, you have to pay more in taxes to support his lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
You get it? Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Everyone else who made enough money to live here and was successful
what a great
prior.
idea. It's not like anyone's ever thought of that idea before.
Yeah, let's just take all their money.
Yeah, they did, and it didn't go very well. In fact,
did you just do a 180? Because earlier you were like you would not change your mind, and all of a sudden you're changing your damn mind. I feel like.
I'm just confused. I don't understand.
20,000 left. And we haven't even talked about food yet, which is another non-negotiable.
That was about women voting, by the way. I didn't say anything about that.
Wow, women voting. We can come back to that. That was the cherry on top. I'm talking about all the other stuff.
In price, as you've all seen and experienced. Once you subtract food, along with other mandatory living expenses like utilities, phone bills, etc., it is very easy to see how even the most hyper-successful and hard-working Gen Zer right now, making over 6 figures.
Hyper successful, hardworking Gen Zer. What a loser. Yep, hyper successful. Oh man, a whole whopping the bottom of the 6 figures in the most expensive city in the world. Oh man, this is your role model. Great life choices, making the worst amount of money he could possibly make in his career path, and then complaining and needing other people to subsidize him. Yeah, this is what I consider role model material right here.
A year is still struggling to get by. But we all know this by now and have covered this in literally hundreds of videos. So what's
plus now you're working with 20,000 a year after all that. Again, now what does he have to pay for? Food?
Yeah. I mean, $1,500 of
he still has that
random
much left.
spend.
He can actually have a girlfriend, even in New York City, with that much left over.
Yeah.
He's not saving anything at that point.
Yeah, you're not saving anything for sure, but
yeah.
You also chose to put $90K out to taxes and rent, so you're not really concerned about saving. Clearly,
was just, absolutely unnecessary in New York. Anywhere in New York, you could even live in New Jersey practically, because that's across the water, so that doesn't really work. But you could I think you can take trains from New York City to New Jersey. It's a longer train, but the commute is no different than driving a car from one end of Chicago to the other. It's still going to take you at least an hour, at least. Yeah. So that is no different than driving a car, and you don't need your car. And the subway is actually pretty inexpensive, and you have to deal with people, but you want to live in New York City, and there's a reason for that. Most people is because it's full of people. So where's the problem?
Yeah.
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense.
I hear a lot of complaining, no solutions.
A lot of and where's the actual problem? Not even where's the solution? Where's the actual problem? There's a lot of complaining for a self-made problem.
It doesn't make sense. Society's fault. They're breakdown of society.
Society's fault. What?
Who makes $150,000 a year can't pay his rent.
In the most expensive city in the whole country.
Well, actually, he just said he can, and he did that, and he paid all his other taxes and stuff, and he still has $20K left over. So,
and frankly, this is not what most people are striving for. To say this is because this guy can't live in the most expensive city, being a trash software developer. Oh, wait, no one could possibly succeed. What are you talking about? Most people aren't trying to live in New York City in the first place because it's a fucking shithole. So who even cares? And it's exactly, it's expensive. It's terrible. Why would you live there?
It's LA, same thing. It's it's really expensive.
You're paying a ton of money to live in the worst place possible. Great, great life decisions. Everything about this just makes a lot of sense to me. I don't know, man. And then like you said, to blame the system, no, you don't understand anything about budgeting, life choices. America is actually pretty fucking big if you think about it. To say this one city is literally the only place you could possibly go or be successful is just okay.
Where do we go from here? Well,
yeah, where do we go from here? I'd love to know.
Saving money on car insurance shouldn't be.
Let's find out now. The greatest capitalist myth of all time is that it has reduced human toil. This is one of the most poignant and historically accurate quotes of all time, which we've spent a lot of time exposing here on this channel. But perhaps the second greatest capitalist myth of all time is that nothing is free in this world, not even in nature. And that's why we should all be forced to work for and accept these dogshit capitalist wages. So we're going to do something a bit different and interesting for this video. Rather than breaking down and debunking these myths one by one,
So I don't think he understands even a capitalism at its most fundamental core. If he's like the statement he just made, just right there means he does not understand it. You do not have to accept a wage. That's the beauty of capitalism. You get to choose. Do you want to do the job or not for the amount that's being offered? And then you can negotiate. And if the employer's not willing,
you can go find another job or someone else that'll pay you differently or give you what you want. Good luck with that.
Or figure out a way to get money a different way. Exactly. Like figure it out. Figure out how you're going to generate value. Otherwise, don't complain that someone else has to figure out how to make you valuable somehow and then pay you. Like, if that's your starting point.
In this guy's situation, I would say let's just say he, for some reason, can't move or just refuses to move. He can use a situation to learn and improve his skills and then find a better job that pays him more. And he can still keep his car because he's still got $20,000 left over after paying all his junk, except eating. That's the only thing left that I can see that he hasn't paid for yet is food and his internet, maybe.
Yeah. And I mean, just frankly, any other expenses, like you still have more than $1,500 a month to handle your food and just other expenses. Like that's definitely enough.
Granted, I'm guessing it's kind of expensive to eat in New York City too, but still.
I mean, all of the things you chose it. And if you're going to go out all the time, like you have to understand that's part of there or just cook. Like the food itself is not like, come on.
Well, I was assuming he was cooking, but then again, he has a car in New York City, so he's probably getting DoorDash every night. I'm saying that's absolutely necessary.
Yeah, that's a non-negotiable life
non-negotiable
decision.
Lifestyle choice.
Because if he got in the car and drove, it'd be the same amount of money than DoorDash, you know? So it's the same.
Exactly. Yeah, therefore it's justified. And Elon Musk needs to pay for me.
Exactly. Yeah, why does he deserve to have money? He should give it away to people. Like, how do you think he got his money?
Jeff Bezos, they have more than enough money. They should give something to me.
They should just give it all away.
They should.
The problem is, if you think about it, we have 350 million people. If you gave everyone $1,000, that's $350 billion. Okay, so Elon Musk could give everyone in the country $1,000 and literally nobody's life improved. So literally nobody's life improved, and he now has nothing.
In fact, a lot of people would say, "Where's the next handout?"
Yeah, exactly.
Done.
Yeah, who's next? Exactly. And then well, the next person.
Well, Elon gave us 1,000. Why don't you give us 1,000?
Mm-hmm. And you just keep going down the line. Exactly. It's crazy. Yeah. And that's just America, let alone the world. If you gave everyone in the world, everyone would get $1, you know? It'd be like, woo!
Everybody give everybody else $1.
Yeah, it's like, do you understand? It just doesn't make sense.
How does this work?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
I thought that made sense when I said it, but it doesn't make sense now that it's happened.
And all of his money's in his stock, so he would have to sell all his stock, so he'd have no ownership in his company. Yeah. Like, his money isn't just a pile of money. He doesn't have a gold cave somewhere.
He's not like Scrooge McDuck with his little money bin. Around in
it's crazy. People are so ignorant, and this is why they should not be allowed to vote. Dude, I was watching something the other day. The guy was talking about his sister was like, his sister was so happy that a brown person is the mayor of New York. And he's like, well, do you realize X, Y, and Z policy, this and that? And they don't care about any of that. It's just like, there's a brown person. I'm so happy. This is why you shouldn't be allowed to vote. You're voting because he's a brown person. Like it's uncomprehendable. Like, my brain just shut down. I had to reboot for a second because I still am struggling. Like, where do you go with that? Like, how do you try and meet someone halfway on a discussion about why that person should be voted for when their whole thing is, he's a brown young man who's happy.
Right.
Oh my God.
The same people who voted for Kamala Harris just because she's a woman.
Because she's a woman, because she's supposedly a black woman, or supposedly an Indian woman, or supposedly a this.
She's a woman. And then you
the
say,
identity politics.
What, you hate women?
Yeah, exactly. No, I hate everything that she stands for.
Right. I tried to understand where she was coming from and what she stood for, and all I got was a headache because she didn't actually say anything, and it was like a whole lot of words without any meaning. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? And like, maybe it was me. And I tried again, and then she apparently will hide from interviews, and the only ones she does have to be pre-scripted. And she usually has someone with her to hold her hand while she does it. And I'm like, this person cannot be our president.
Yeah, president
this person cannot stand up to a Vladimir Putin or a
Xi Jinping, Kim Jong-il.
Oh my God! You kidding me? They'll roll right over. They'll do whatever they want because they know she ain't doing nothing about it because she's scared and she's an idiot. Because she can't even speak in public, and she wants to be the president of the United States.
Yeah, how are you going to go negotiate with people? You're a fucking airhead. Yeah,
we don't even understand what she's about. How do we expect?
But that's what people are
someone
voting
who doesn't
for.
Speak English to understand where she's coming from, and they're just going to laugh. They're going to be like, "This person's a joke," and they're going to do whatever the hell they want.
And this is the downfall of, and this isn't even a downfall of democracy, really. This is a downfall of democracy on top of a system of idiots. Because if people were actually informed, because
it's just a lack of common sense, and it's like,
well,
what?
Even beyond common sense, people are so wrapped up in their social media bullshit, they don't actually know what's happening in the world, and they're making all these emotional knee-jerker decisions without actually being informed on anything.
Full circle how social media is the devil and it's ruining society.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, we need content. To have a social media that's your identity is tied to it, so everyone knows who the fuck you are when you're talking. So when you act like a fool,
it's like hard
you have to be
DNA when you're born.
I mean, I'm getting to the point, whatever it takes, because then we could use it for voting as well.
Everything you do is recorded.
You could do very easily, just put out a poll. How do you think about this? Let's vote on this. It becomes easy then, and it's traceable, and it's
true.
I don't know. I would feel comfortable, and we'd throw it all up. We'd be like, all right, who's in favor of men and women's sport? 99% say no, huh? Let's get rid of that
from social media. It'd be interesting.
They need the next trending thing. Maybe we should start a trend of being an actual fucking adult. Yeah, well, that's true. You get them in young, be like, all right, you want to be really cool? Stop being a fucking idiot like all these other people, and everyone will definitely like you.
Just going to kill two birds with one stone and debunk them together in one fell swoop. Because as you see, these two capitalist myths are heavily intertwined. And once we successfully knock one of them down, the entire myth of capitalism collapses, and we can finally look at a better system. You've heard about the birth rate crisis that's afflicting just about every developed country on Earth right now. Population numbers are plummeting off a cliff because young people simply can't afford to have kids anymore. But have you ever wondered why specifically right now, in 2025, it's essentially the first and only time in human history that this has actually happened? Obviously, we've had population declines before, between all the wars, plagues, and famines that have happened throughout human history. But those were all due to external forces. This is the first time it's happening because people are voluntarily choosing not to because they can't afford it. Billions of extremely poor and impoverished people have existed throughout human history. Serfs, peasants.
See, and this is another fucking lie. What did we see? In terms of priorities, women, especially these Gen Z women, don't want kids, not because they can't afford it.
They don't want families. They don't want down to a family, man.
It would impact their
best life. They can't
their best life. Exactly. They wouldn't be able to explore their own selves. They wouldn't be able to really So he's coming from a perspective. Okay, you can't afford to raise a kid and also be a complete degenerate loser piece of shit that goes out and parties all the time and doesn't take care of the kid. Yes, that is true.
Car in New York City. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you can't both want to have a family and not actually be involved in the family, but have enough money to have the family, but also it can't impact your lifestyle, so you have to have state-sponsored childcare to actually raise your kids while you
Right.
go experience
As
your
long as
life.
someone else pays for my kid, then I guess I could have a kid.
Yeah, that's the only way. Exactly. So they're only interested if someone else is going to pay for it, raise it, interact with it, teach it how to be in society. You know, all. But if they do anything I don't like, then of course I'm going to go crazy and be like, oh, you can't, you know, treat my kids this way, even though I don't really want to be involved with them. I just want them to be psychotic, free for all, do whatever. Like, they need this space to learn about themselves. And if they think they're a zebra, they can be a fucking zebra. Like, okay. My daughter isn't cheap, but I do all right with not going out all the damn time. Exactly. You budget. Like, it's called life. Like, you have a certain amount of resources. And you want to do things. What do you prioritize? You know, exactly. What, you know, it's not that. It's not.
If your kid is small, you can just like stuff them under your coat and smuggle them into the movies.
And you think this guy who like grew hay for the feudal lord and had to give all of his stuff over and pay taxes for the privilege of maybe being protected if, you know, a neighboring lord came and attacked the farm? Like,
yep.
You think this guy had
all his food,
just the greatest time of his life and, you know, whatever? Oh my God. Like, these people are so stupid.
Caveman, and the like. We're told we should be grateful. We have it so good compared to them. We live in the best time ever. And yet, despite how poor they may seem on paper, they were always able to afford to start families and have children.
How many kids died?
You know, it's established this person's an idiot.
Yeah, this person is just completely
they had like
an
15
idiot.
kids because only like 3 wound up surviving to adulthood. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And it's not because they didn't try to keep them alive. It's just because, you know, the world was hard.
Yeah, the world is hard. You get
Yeah, it
sick,
still
there's
is.
no food, you know,
Not nearly as
any
hard as it was
number
back
of
then, though.
reasons.
Gosh. Yeah, back then you got a paper cut, you're dead. Staph infection, it's going to get to my heart. I don't know what to do. I don't know anything about washing my hands.
Yeah, my hands are in poop all day.
A lot of times, many multiple children. Meanwhile, we're sitting up here splitting rent with 5 roommates just to get by. So this
When I'm
just
sick,
doesn't
they
really
just
make sense
bleed
or
me. That's
Yeah, and the
perfectly
kids.
legit.
You would
No
have kids
problems
too,
there.
because at 10 they'd be raising the other kids, and then at 13 they're in the farm, growing and you know, dealing with. It's not like they're sitting around playing on a computer all day. You retard. Like, the kids are like actually working
like,
for the family,
as
like
soon as
actually
they are
working.
capable of working. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And
Like,
it's
little
not.
kids will at least carry things.
They don't go to
always
school.
working.
Yeah, exactly. You're taking care of your other kid, or you're doing something, or you're getting.
At least they had an excuse for not learning how to read.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb Gen Zers not learning how to read.
Yeah, and the life expectancy was lower, so you didn't have, you know, 40 years to fuck around and then
plus,
have
like,
kids.
Who cares if I don't want to live till I'm 21. Why would I bother with reading? Learn how to read?
add up at all. How exactly is this
that.
even possible? Well, the answer is, although they didn't make that much money, they started life with a lot of free stuff. You've heard me say this before.
This idiot tried to stay. They started life with a whole bunch of free shit.
Excuse me?
Earth
Yeah,
and all its
misery is
valuable-
free. Suffering is free.
We need to back this shit up for a second.
Oppression is free. You don't have to pay
I did
for
not
that.
watch
Well, I
this
guess
far
you
into
do
it
pay
the
for
first
that,
time.
but it's not monetary.
This
Like,
is new to
I mean,
me.
I guess you do, but never mind.
I do not know what's happening right now. Is this guy really trying to say the world was free? Oh, at some point not too long ago?
It was great in the like 1100s when you just got everything for free. And
I
you just
know,
got
because
to-
everybody else
Someone's like,
died
"Hey,
from
buddy,
a
here's a
plague.
farm.
Exactly. Oh, here's a
wife.
Look, all these dead people. I wonder what happened here. I don't know. It's mine now.
Here's a sword. Defend yourself. Defend your turnips.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck? I know. It's true, though. And that's the crazy thing. We think about it like, what? It's like, well, shit. That's true. Someone come over and take your shit. That's all you could do was be like, bitch. I will stab you.
Stab you with a sword.
Get the fuck out of here. And then they come back with all their friends and they stab you in the sleep and take it anyway.
Exactly.
Like, what the fuck? Yeah, free cholera, free dying from the neighbor raids. Exactly.
The rats will bring it to you for free.
Yeah, they'll come run on over and give you a little bite.
Yeah.
No worries.
Absolutely. There you go.
Or add up at all. How exactly is this even possible? Well, the answer is, although they didn't make that much money, they started life with a lot of free stuff. You've heard me say this before. The Earth and all its valuable land were created 100% totally for free. No human labor was required to build or create the Earth and the land that we live on. This is just an objective scientific fact that
this is free, you know.
Exist.
The land was free and the trees were free.
Science don't care about your feelings. This is why the fact that you have to pay such an absurd amount
life was great.
Land that was created for free is quite frankly.
You didn't have to pay for the rocks.
Oh my!
You just got to
is
go.
This
like,
really where this is going? He's literally
so.
trying to say the land is free, so why do we pay?
And this is why social media is killing all of us.
Holy crap. I would love to meet this guy in person and see if he could
One way or another.
Can he navigate the world at all? Like, does he just walk into walls and be like, wow, why is there, if only this wall wasn't here? Like, oh my God. The level of retardation is like really killing me right now. I can't. Am I the only one struggling? Bobby, is this a struggle for you?
To be fair, we've been on this for a while.
Yeah, there is a man-made island. That's true.
Biggest scam and grift ever. A pre-industrial farmer may not have had an iPhone, but he had something far, far more valuable. The right to live on the land of this earth for free.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name just by...
No, but literally nobody's going to stop you if you want to go live on a farm somewhere and try your best to just do it yourself, idiot. Like, literally... You're not going to succeed.
I think he's trying to say that I'm guessing that his point is that back then, like before there were things like governments or societies, right? When it was just like cavemen groups, you just wandered it into an area and you just claimed it, right? It's yours. Whereas now you have to pay for it and you have to pay taxes on it and stuff. So I guess that's his point. But there's plenty of places that'll like give you free land to do that, like Alaska. Like, good luck. Here you go. Like, I mean, there's it is a thing. People do go there just to like live off the land and not be part of society. It's still possible.
Yeah,
it's not very
exactly.
fun.
Yeah,
it's not very
if that's what you want, if you think that's like the better option,
yeah, you can technically still live off the grid these days. There's still states that you can do that in. Not as many of them as you used to, but
I mean, regardless of living off the grid,
this
is
go
like
out in the middle of the Texas desert and stake your claim and say anyone that comes in my 20-foot area is going to get stabbed in the face. Like, I mean, go for it. I think you'll be left alone for quite a long time before anyone like comes across you, much less cares. So
yeah, go get you and your bunch of Gen Z friend to go. Is that, like, if you think this is like better, have you tried it? And if not, why not? Because you're stating that this is you're saying, hey, wasn't it great when you could just go do this? We're saying, okay, go do that.
Yeah, wasn't it great when like you had to worry about getting dysentery every day and there's no such thing as healthcare, so good luck.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
There was no such thing as a hospital, much less a doctor or like the medical profession, as they hadn't been conceived yet. Well, you
got like the medicine man. You gotta like
good luck, but
Well, yeah, that too. I guess you can start sampling everything and see what works.
Yeah, that's how they. They're pretty sure that's how the prehistoric people did it. Like you just
yeah, you let John go first, and
you said, "Let's not eat that."
Yeah, you
anymore,
watch the first guy eat it. You kind of wait and see what happens.
See what happens to him. It's like, whoa. I'm sure you
Okay,
had
he
somebody
fell
in the
over
group
and
who was
died.
like the tester because like that was just like their role in life.
Maybe,
right?
or I mean,
valuable.
Or if you found something first, be like, all right, I don't know, let's see.
Right.
I don't know, who knows how they did it, but or like you,
maybe the old did it. Like maybe they made the old people do it. But here you go.
I think it's just
you've already had your
there's
kids,
not that much to begin with, so you're like, I'm gonna chance it because this is all that's here, so I'm just gonna eat it, and then everyone else watches and like, okay, don't eat that in the future.
Right.
That's why there's a whole bunch of that here and nothing else. Because that will kill you. Holy moly. All right, one more time. I just want to make sure I'm fully understanding this because this is the first time I saw this.
That was created for free is quite frankly the biggest scam and grift ever. A pre-industrial farmer may not have had an iPhone, but he had something far more valuable. The right to live on the land of this earth for free. Let's do a quick tape comparison between our good friend Early Exit and the life of a pre-industrial farmer to see how they stack up. Of the $125,000 Early Exit makes per year, immediately $45,000 is gone on taxes, $48,000 gone on rent, and $12,000 gone on transportation costs. This adds up to a total of $105,000 gone immediately on basic, non-negotiable living expenses.
Again, with this non-negotiable thing is really killing
Well,
me.
like he already factored in his car, so this means he's also spending another $12,000 just in gas.
I think the $12K is for the car and gas.
But they already subtracted the cost of his car.
No, we
for
have
insurance.
taxes,
Oh, is it just
rent,
insurance in the cost of the car itself?
Rent and commute. So I'm assuming, yeah, car payment, car insurance, and gas.
Oh, okay, that's all of it put together. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Sorry, we keep pausing so much, I get lost in.
We're at 105,000.
The accounting
part. Habits, unlike what delusional boomers think. You can't just cut back on taxes. You'll go to jail. You can't just cut back on rent. You'll go homeless. And you can't just cut back on commute costs. You won't even be able to get to work in the first place.
And again, idiot, you don't have to live there. You could use public transit. You don't have to live there.
This leaves him $20,000 left per year in New York City, one of
he doesn't have to live there.
The most expensive cities in the entire world.
He knows it's the most expensive city in the country. He doesn't have to live there.
To pay for food, utilities, and other basic living expenses. Our pre-industrial farmer, on the other hand, lives in a house that was passed down for generations. He gets to live on the land for free, as he rightfully should, because the land was literally created for free in the first place.
I think this dude is an absolute idiot.
Yep, absolute idiot. And how many people are in New York City? And how big of a surface area would you need to have all these people living for free on the land supposedly from passed down generational housing? Like, it doesn't even make any sense.
And most of the time, like his talking about like serfs, dude, they were serfs. They were peasants. They didn't own the land. They worked it. And it was owned by their lord or their king, and they paid taxes to that king. So it's like, what the, like, yeah, they paid taxes.
Yeah, they
paid rent.
And often they paid everything they had as taxes.
They didn't have to worry about, I guess, was commuting because they lived on the
go
farm
anywhere.
That they worked
Exactly.
every day without a break. They never had weekends. They rarely had holidays unless it was like a celebration of the Lord's birthday. What is this comparison?
I know this is what an average person was just dancing around all day, so happy with a hay bale, just like so happy all day long.
And this miserable Gen Zer in his gaming chair, eating processed munchy foods from a bag that he had to actually order from the grocery store. He didn't have to pick it up; it had it delivered because he lives in New York City.
Unbelievable. And these shoes are made out of the liver of a fucking cow.
It's probably made out of the liver of one of his
children. Oh my God.
Yeah, one of his sheep.
People back then had communal farms where they split food.
I was going to make haggis out of it, but I didn't choose too bad.
Once again, they had access to the land of the earth for free. Remember how early exit has to pay $4,000 per month on rent? In a big city like New York, the overwhelming majority of rent costs, as much as 90%, are due to the cost of the land and not of the building on top of it. This is why even a tiny studio there is expensive to live in.
And again, you don't have to live there. What are they not understanding about any of this? If you have a lot of people that want to live somewhere, how would you handle this? So you have 1,000 people, but it will only support 500. Who gets to live there?
Yeah,
exactly. Now
it's
people,
desirable.
Exactly.
So
this is exactly the point.
Stay there. Now you don't have as much problem with as many people wanting to live there.
Mm-hmm.
You've equaled things. You've balanced.
And that's what capitalism is about. How badly do you want to live here?
So there's plenty of places you could go and try. And if you don't
how
like
much
it,
of
guess
your
what?
resource
There's like
do you want to spend
places
on this?
you can try after that you might like better.
It's unreasonable. All of this stuff. And this
Yeah,
guy
I don't
clearly,
understand.
I wonder if he's a troll because I struggled to believe.
I
that
think
he can
maybe
honestly
he probably
believe
gets
this.
a lot of views from Gen Zers who feel this like, oh, I'm struggling because I make this much, but it's so expensive, and eggs and blah and bacon and it's so expensive. And they're just, reinforcing that, like the affirmation that gets them to be like, I love this guy. He's totally proving my point that I have to myself to explain why I am struggling and I'm 25 and I have a good job, but yet I can't make ends meet. But I just spent $500 on Amazon.
I mean, that's what
month.
I hope is the case, honestly,
Right.
because then at least that makes sense to me. But if he believes any of this trash, it's like, really? Like I struggle with that more than believing that he knows better and is just willfully.
Or he's a Gen Zer who's been, felt this way, and now he's just, spouting it out. And he does believe it. I don't know.
Ugh.
If you were to put that same tiny studio in some rural town in North Dakota, it wouldn't cost nearly that much, and we all know this. So this means that he has to pay around $3,600.
Yeah, because no one want to live there. What the fuck is your point? You're so stupid.
So he's agreeing with us? I don't understand.
Yeah, so from his
Did you
perspective,
just blame
because
this on a breakdown of society?
so they want to cap rent because elsewhere this same apartment would only be $1,000. But nobody wants to live out there because it's a swamp and there's literally alligators that will come into your house and eat you.
Because there's nothing to do. There's no clubs
Or that,
There's only
right?
two.
Like literally any reason.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever
But
it
the point is,
I don't even know
nobody
if kids
wants
club
to
these
live
days.
there. That's
I
why
doubt
the
it.
rent is so low. Everybody want to live here. That's why it's high. That's literally how it works. And frankly,
Plus for a generation who's spending all their time on a phone, like why is living in a New York City environment so important as opposed to somewhere else? It's not like as long as they have internet, like why do you care?
if all of your engagement is online anyway,
Yeah.
who do you? Why exactly?
never
Why does
leave
it
your
matter
home.
where you are?
Wouldn't it be way better to live in a great big home like out in the countryside where you don't have to actually interact with any actual human beings?
I don't know.
Or even in the suburbs, you just have everything delivered to your home. That's what I do.
$600 per month for land that was created completely
Go to
for
the
free.
store.
That
I mean,
is why
I have to
people's
get
life,
up,
nothing is free. It's
put
the
on
biggest scam
pants.
interest ever. They've managed to brainwash you that paying $3,600 a month for something that was created for free is normal, and that you're the lazy one if you don't want to do it. Our pre-industrial
Something that was created for free? Are you retarded? And again, like just because it was created for free, if 10 people want something, let's say you find an apple on a tree and it's the only apple, it's the only tree. It was created for free, but there's 10 of you. Who gets it? I'm assuming whoever the biggest
Old
one
school
is.
rules would say whoever's the biggest person who has the biggest stick usually gets it. But society would be formed to say, well, everyone can share it, so we'll cut it up equally. But then reality is that society will say, well, I am more important in this group, so I get a bigger piece than the rest of you, and the rest of you divide up what's left over. So, yeah.
But the point is, you
All
have
about the
something that
apple.
was technically created for free, but it doesn't matter. What matters
Right.
is
It doesn't matter.
what
It's
people
about-
want.
It's what people want and what they will do to get it.
Right. So
How
just
important
because
it
it
is
was
to them.
created for free does not matter one fucking
The
scrap
land
of
is an
anything.
exact good example of that. Like, yeah, at one point the land was technically free because there was a lot of land and not very many people. But eventually there's more people, and other people started to come close to them, and they said, if you come on my land, I'm going to stab you in the face with this knife.
Exactly.
And societies were born. And so
society was born.
And, all the other great things we have today that stem from all that stuff. So, but for a very brief moment in time, I suppose he was right. There was a point in human history where everything was technically free. Once.
Well, until two people show up.
Who has control, and how strongly do they feel about keeping control over that thing that we're talking about?
And even in the case when it was free, it just happened that you were the only one to contend, so it was yours. But now,
it was
as soon
free
as
because
more
there was
people,
no one else around to stab you in the face for
exactly,
it.
it's free because there was no
As
one
soon as
else,
someone
not
came around and
because
said,
it was free.
I like this. It's mine. And if you come near me and try to take it, I'm gonna stab you in the face. That's when ownership began. Absolutely.
So I don't know.
Finders,
this person,
keepers, and
these
I
are
will stab you in
very
the face if you try to take it
easy
from
to understand concepts. We're both instantly on the same page. You didn't have to convince me. I didn't have to convince you.
It's pretty clear.
This person,
all you have to do is learn a few things.
To him, this is brainwashing. To this person, it's literally brainwashing, propaganda. The fundamental truth of reality is brainwashing propaganda in this person's eyes.
Yep.
Which is insanity.
This is propaganda. You're right.
Industrial farmer didn't have to pay this absolutely exorbitant rent fee to live off land that was created for free. He also doesn't have to pay for commute costs, as commuting for him is just a 50-step walk to the farm. A common response I see in the comments whenever I talk about this is, well, if you like this lifestyle so much, no one's stopping you from getting your own homestead. Actually, this is just another dishonest capitalist lie and a very long list of them. I actually researched homesteading a lot, as some of my subscribers were interested in trying it out as a way to escape the system. It turns out it costs anywhere from $200,000 to up to $1 million just to start a homestead in the United States. Most of these costs come from, again, you guessed it, having to pay for land that was created totally for free. You can see.
Well, let me tell you something. You can either pay for the land that you'd like, or you can do what every single other person who's ever wanted land in the history of existence has done, and fight for it. I don't believe you will win that fight, but those are your options. You can either, and this is a truth of reality.
You're just said something really smart there, because you're absolutely correct. There's two ways to get land, buddy. You can take it, or you can pay for it with money.
Exactly.
The easiest way is to just pay for it with money. It's also the cheapest
way
way.
Easier.
It's way
by
easier.
Far easier. You buy it from the person who owns it.
It's necessarily quicker because you have to get the money first, and that could take time. But once you have the money, it's really fast, and you don't have many things to worry about. Whereas with the other way,
now
comes with a lot of downsides.
The other option is we're talking location. You're talking about taking land within the United States that has a very strong and powerful owner who will prevent you from taking.
Yeah, internal taking, that's way harder. You have to do like fraud type stuff to get to do it without.
But I imagine if you just went into I don't know, somewhere in Canada or I don't know, probably parts of Africa. I'm going to say
I'm telling you, I think if
Australia.
you go to Alaska, they'll actually pay you to
there
take
you go.
control
Alaska,
of land.
Russia has a lot of land. I'm sure they'd love it to be farmed.
You might have to still pay taxes. I don't know. Last I heard, Alaska actually pays their citizens every year a certain amount of money because they make so much off the oil and the rare earth and all that stuff that they're just basically, as far as the state goes,
I mean, that might be true, but the cost of everything is extremely high because they have to import everything by plane.
I'm sure they still have to pay federal taxes, but it's not like they get exempt from that. But
yeah, but the point is, there's not just this person is delusional on so many levels, but there's not this abundance of land to people anymore. We have billions of people on the earth. We didn't
too much time
on day one. We didn't have billions of people.
In people's hands. Too many people willing to use those knives to keep what they got their hands on.
Well, I would say the reverse. In fact, civilization allowed the number of people to exist that exist. Like without that, there's no way we'd have this many people.
No.
And then maybe you'd have free land
and rent.
But there'd also be like no people, and those people would not be cooperative. That's for damn sure. And if you happen to be in the way of someone who's having a bad day or a group of people that just want to take your shit, well,
there's a big difference too. We have so many people now and we're so connected that it's not the same as it was back then in terms of meeting each other.
And you can't hide as much anymore. So this is something also changed.
You can't hide except on
you
the
can't go
internet.
rob a bank and then travel off to the East Coast or something and be forgotten.
No,
you know
but
what
they
I'm
still
saying?
try, don't they?
They do still try. But it's not like, you know, the Wild West, you know, we go to a town somewhere and then you escape and go somewhere else. And
you can't catch me because I'm in another jurisdiction, you copper.
Or they just change their identity and literally no one has any way of tracking anyone because it's all a bunch of disjointed little little cities here and there. Nobody knows anybody.
That backfired too, though, because they used that like too many times. And then instead of just catching you legally and putting you in jail, they just set up ambushes on the state line. And as soon as you crossed it, they just killed you with like 20 guys on each side of the road, and they just completely destroy your car with bullets.
Go.
They don't care. They don't care who else is in the car. That's how they got Dillinger, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I know that's how they got Dillinger. They literally
that's where we need to get to that point.
It's basically like shooting them in the
underhanded.
back.
I say
they were federal agents, and you mean the guy had been going around terrorizing the country. So depends on how you look at it. Depends on how you look at it.
Exactly, perspective.
See the pattern. All about free stuff objectively and scientifically existed everywhere in nature before capitalism. Capitalists stole that land and put it behind a paywall, and now they tell you that nothing is free. And this is why, despite making so much less materially speaking, pre-industrial farmers could afford things we can only dream of. They started off the game of life with a ton of free stuff. Every single one of them essentially had a $200,000 homestead for free from the time they were born. We, on the other hand, were born into an era where everything's behind a paywall. Keep in mind, too, that early exit is an extremely smart, hardworking, and successful individual who makes over $125,000 per year.
He's an idiot living somewhere he can't afford, making an amount of money that's very low, especially for where he lives in his career path. I've already demonstrated in a much lower cost of living area, I pay my people more than that. So clearly this person is not very successful. He is an idiot. He makes bad life choices, and he's crying that other people need to take care of him, which is retarded.
Well within the top 1%, and even he struggles to get by through no fault of his own.
And no, that's not the top 1%.
If we were to take a look at the average Gen Z or millennial, not a top 1% guy like early exit, it's unquestionable that we have it insanely bad compared to anyone else in history, because we literally live in the most expensive era ever. So what's the solution to all this? Well,
yeah, and that farmer, guess what? A frost came through and ruined your farm. Well, now you're probably going to die. So is that cool? Like, I mean, you had the free land. You know, you didn't have to pay for your car. But you had some bad weather.
You have free land. You only had to murder to get it. But it's free.
Or be willing to murder to keep.
Right.
So, I don't know, man.
Well, thankfully, a lot of promising ones are starting to emerge.
After learning how much this idiot makes,
even if you make 6 figures
I
per
think
year,
I have a good reason to start complaining about shit.
Well, that's true. You definitely can complain.
You're never going to out-earn this economy and this system. So since you can't out-earn these absurd living costs, traditional paths such as working hard,
you can't out-earn that, you're retarded.
Or getting a better education or obsessing over your career are just totally outdated and obsolete at this point. What you can do, however, is anti-consume your way out of this mess. The anti-consumption subreddit recently blew up, amassing over 700,000 weekly visitors, and they provide some of the most creative and practical solutions I've ever seen. So let's go through the best of them in quick, rapid-fire succession.
So you want to be a software engineer? Go to boot.dev.
Is that what a software engineer can do? He can hold fire in his hand?
Code.
Number 1, secondhand shopping. Now, I've kind of always done this intuitively even before the anti-consumption movement blew up, as I found that oftentimes used items, whether they're games, clothes, or books, are just as good as new ones. Or at least, let's say 90% as good, while being, of course, significantly cheaper. You really don't need the latest, brand new, shiniest item all the time. For example, gaming is a hobby of mine, obviously speaking, and I've found out that if I simply stack up a decent backlog, I can generally wait it out until the new game I want to play goes on sale. Most of the time, I simply just scoop up a game that looks interesting when it hits the big, I'd say 70-ish% discount range, and it kind of helps that most new games these days suck, and a lot of the older games are better anyways, but that's perhaps a different topic for a different day. You can apply this exact same strategy to clothes, electronics, books, or whatever hobby you love. This can help you get off to a great start. But I know what you're thinking. This doesn't help you when it comes to rent, food, or other basic living expenses, which is the biggest struggle for most of you right now. Don't worry, I got even better tips for you.
Yeah, basic living expenses, living in the most expensive parts of the world. And these people that make videos about New York and LA and like Chicago and all this stuff, get a fucking grip with reality, man. Like,
yeah.
Again, there's how many cities in the United States?
Like, in the same state, you could pay, like, say, $2.50 per gallon for gas, whereas in one of those cities, you're paying like $8 a gallon for gas. Just because,
especially California,
they can do that. They can charge you that much. Like, that's the main reason. Also, it's expensive to constantly be bringing things into the city for consumers to consume.
Well, and
so
also the best way to bring down
anyway,
the price is to stop paying it, not ask for handouts so that other people can pay it. Like, that's retarded.
Yeah, I mean, like, this guy is, we've already talked about, but just the simple fact that he owns a car in New York City is like, just like, honestly, I think that pinpoints him to being an absolute moron. Like, he's so lazy that he can't get on a subway.
I don't think it's even lazy. I think it's a prideful thing.
Understand.
I think
I don't understand.
He shouldn't have to, because he's a successful 25-year-old software engineer living in the most expensive. Right. Exactly.
Then, dude, get the F over yourself.
And that's why he also can't have roommates, because, he's a 25-year-old ultra successful software engineer making trash money in the most expensive fucking Jesus, man. Get over yourself. And this is what these people look up to. And when they see in their social media, this guy who supposedly is doing so good, because they can't tell the difference. They just see 125 and they're like, that's so much.
No, you hear that a lot you see that a lot on the internet. It's like, this guy only makes this much. And it's like, wow, that's a lot of money. Or this guy makes this much a year and he's rich. I'm like, really? That's he's considered to be well off. I'm like, that's not very much. Usually, like, entertainment like really downshoots it. Like, it makes $100 seem like a ton of money, like on a TV show. But the reality, and then it's like, I won't date a guy who makes less than $500,000 a year. It's like, what? Like,
so who are all these people?
There's like 5 people in
exactly.
every state that makes that much money. I don't know. It's like, good luck. I should say 5 eligible bachelors under the age of 60 that make that much.
Well, that's true. I mean, if you want to date a 85-year-old who's got a huge retirement plan, great.
And a wife,
and a wife, exactly.
Because I guarantee you that guy's either single because he wants to be, or because he's a widow or widower. Sorry, or
he's not single.
Or he's not single. And you're just a side piece, because that's the best you're going to get. Good luck.
Because there's so many people like that. Like, you're not special. Like, why are you special? And there's not that many people that have all this money. So, again, supply and demand. Not much supply, a lot of demand. I don't know. That means the top of the top get, I don't know, man.
When it comes to that, coming up next. Number 2, a flexitarian.
That's true, though. When it comes to money, there's a lot of demand for it.
During the summer, to take down the biggest, most vile Gen Z hater, the angry guy.
We all have it.
Horrible human.
None of us have it.
Hates Gen Z so much, he even celebrates them dying. Thanks to you, we've gained a ton of ground on him over the summer, and we've set a new goal to surpass him in subscribers and defeat him once and for all by the end of the year. So, if you're new here and enjoying this content, definitely a mission during the summer to take down the biggest, most vile Gen Z hater, the angry guy.
The angry guy. Interesting.
The angry guy. Aren't we all the angry guy? Don't we all have an angry guy deep in us somewhere? Bobby, do you have an angry guy in you?
Why is this person so upset?
I know Pav
with
has
this
an angry guy in him. I hear it a lot.
All right, I'll have to check this out later and report back.
I have not heard of the angry guy.
Are we only on the third one? Holy crap, we are so far behind.
I told you we've been on this for a while.
He even celebrates them dying. Thanks to you, we've gained a ton of ground on him over the summer.
He celebrates them dying? There's no way. All right, I'll check into that guy. But anyway. All right, anyway, so we can tell Gen Z has a retard here spouting off about free stuff and how great it is to be a fucking feudal, like... peasant, so I don't know. I'm glad you have great role models, Gen Z.
What's
right.
up, people? This is Canada Little right here. We're gonna be watching Why Gen Z Graduates Are in Crisis. It's by Cold Fusion. You come over to his channel, hit the subscribe button. Also, when you see my video, hit the subscribe button on my video too. Let's get straight into it.
I've applied to over 100 jobs on LinkedIn, and that's just LinkedIn alone.
The job market right now is... I'm Caitlin, I'm a university graduate, and I applied to 647 roles before I got one.
Nobody will even give me an interview.
Basically, I'm not able to get a job.
I really don't understand how people are finding full-time jobs. I really don't get it.
These are not outliers. This is the current reality of an entire cohort. 20 years ago, the grand path of life was a lot simpler. Go through school, graduate, go to university.
Honestly, I think part of the problem is a lot of people in a hiring position literally do not want to deal with Gen Z. And I feel bad, but...
Well, that sounds good for me. I'm not Gen Z. I'm way too old for that.
Well, I mean, it's good in some ways, but it's bad in the fact that these are the people that they're fundamentally, we can't deal with them to the point that we don't even want to interview them.
Well, that's not good.
Like, I think, honestly, unless I had
that's
like
what
a block...
human resources is for. You got to give them something to do.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Unless I had like a whole bunch of interviews like lined up for the day and I needed to like fill some slots or something, I probably would just reject every Gen Z. Like, I wouldn't even bother. Just because of how difficult they are to deal with.
Gotcha. Like, kind of like you're going through a stack of resumes and you got to narrow them down. So you just take out everyone who misspelled something and throw it out.
Yeah, exactly. Right? You have to have a baseline somewhere.
500 down to 100, and now you get to, like, you know, or whatever your process is for elimination. You're just trying to get down to the right people or as fast as possible without wasting your time.
Or who's at least likely to be the right people. And
correct.
Yeah, there's a little bit of profiling and stereotyping, but at the same time, there's a reason
true
for
in
it.
hiring for as long as I've ever been looking for a job. So, yeah.
And especially if your like introduction is all about like, oh, I'm looking for a workplace that really focuses on like mental health and like
my mental
workplace
health and
balance
life,
and like
work balance. Yeah, absolutely.
I'd be like
if
right
that's
to the
first
trash.
thing out of your mouth. Yeah. Like, that's your cover letter. I'm looking for a place that has strong community ties to my mental health and will support my life choices in mental health.
Yeah.
Give me lots of time.
But I honestly think this is a lot to do with it, that they're not understanding. They're like, oh, there's no jobs, or they're like, oh, AI is taking all the jobs. No,
I mean, looking for a job is kind of hard depending on what kind of job you're looking for.
Yeah,
like an
that's been true
engineer,
forever
I don't
for
think
everyone.
if you're an engineer of any kind and you're worth anything, I think you can get people to help you find jobs fairly easily. Like, you can find recruiters without too much of a problem.
Yeah.
There's some areas that obviously you're not. Like, if you have no skills, if you're just starting out in the world. I'm not being a jerk or anything. I just mean, like, there's some places that aren't going to hire you without the experience, and there's some places that aren't going to hire you without the stupid piece of paper from the college, unfortunately, which is just how it works. Like, there's been a lot of jobs that I was in an interview for and I didn't get the job. Like, I was one away from getting the job, but the person, I don't know if it was a guy or not, the person who got the job had a better degree than I did, like a higher level degree. And that's when I changed careers, or the first time, which was the best career choice change that I made so far because it's still paying my bills. And that was to go to vocational school. It was to learn a trade as fast as possible, as good as I could. So I paid a lot of money at a private school to learn it really well. But like I drained my savings to learn something new, and it paid off in the sense that while I did have loan debt, I didn't have a stupid amount compared to what I had gotten before and gotten nowhere with what I had done with it. Like the reason I have debt now isn't because of that choice. It was because of the choice before that was a dead-end choice, which was you go to school and you get a degree and then you get a job and then you get a family and then you have a home and a mortgage and a car and a dog and all the shit that didn't happen. So, that's what I'm still paying for. It's like, and what did I get from it was like minimum wage for a year, and then they laid me off because
but I think a lot of people,
there was a recession going on, and so they're like, well, this guy's new and we don't pay him very much, let's get rid of him, he's easy to replace.
But I do think a lot of people don't like, at least with you, I will say, I think you're a creative, you're doing creative things, you enjoy what you're doing.
Unfortunately, part of my problem too is I'm not a math person. If I knew math and I could have become an engineer, I wouldn't be complaining.
I think that's what people need to lean into. Like, what do you like to do? And don't rely on someone else to come along and tell you like, oh, this is how you're going to provide me value, and hopefully it aligns with all your bullshit. Like, figure out what you like. Go down that rabbit hole and, well, frankly, figure out if that could even sustain you. Like if, you hear the term starving artist or whatever, it's like, well, if you want to live in New York City and drive a Lamborghini and, maybe, I'm just saying, maybe it's going to be tough to get to that level with that career path. It might be possible.
That's why like, I don't know, chasing your dreams doesn't sound bad, but you need to back it up with like
realistic dreams
and or talent before you do it. Like otherwise you should do something while you're learning how to do that thing that you really want to do and find out if you're actually good at it. But I think the more successful people are people who find what they're good at and they do that. Not necessarily
and they lean into
love.
it.
Because unfortunately, sometimes if you try to do what you love, you stop loving it. And then it becomes a job.
That's true.
And then you don't, and the thing that you loved is not longer something you love. It's something you have to do every day. And it's like, Whereas if you start out by doing something you're good at, you'll probably enjoy it to a degree. And it won't be hard for you to excel at it. Like not comparatively. Like you won't have to like struggle.
But when you go to get a job and your employer's talking to you about the thing that you're actually interested in, and he can see that you're passionate about it and it brings you excitement and it's something that you will like dive into on your own, that person's going to hire you.
I think having both of those things is ideal, but it's like the reality isn't like most people don't get that. They don't achieve that. Like it's just something they don't wind up doing. Or
but really that's why all these people complaining.
Out, this is great, and this is what I really wanted to do, but it doesn't pay me very well and I knew that going into it, but I didn't really think about the reality of what that meant, and now I have to change my mind and do something different. Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but anyway, continue.
University, get a degree, and waltz right into a job. A job in an industry where you'll spend the rest of your life. Simple, but explain that to your average 22-year-old and they'd laugh. It's no secret that things have changed. But over the past year, things have changed even more. Job listings are dropping, while job applicants are rising. And the result? A full-blown unemployment and underemployment crisis for the youth of today. It's leaving many young graduates navel-gazing.
Class of 2025, we need to talk. If you're a recent grad struggling to find a job, it's not just you. It's the numbers. Jobs have gone down, and the number of qualified applicants continues to rise. The 3-month moving
So why are jobs going down if we're getting rid of all these immigrants and stuff? Like jobs should be increasing, and we're reindustrializing America, bringing back factory jobs that were mostly gotten rid of. Like, how do you figure there's less jobs? Now, I will say there's probably more qualified people. Technically, yes, that's true. You're going to have more qualified people for the jobs that are available, but I don't think there's less jobs.
No, I think part of it is that a lot of people are in the wrong, like, let's see, industry, but I guess maybe market is the right word. Like people who are trained to do whatever, like tech type jobs, and now the jobs that are available are like factory jobs. Those tech people aren't gonna be like, oh, I need a better job, I'm gonna go to the factory now. You know, they either need to be convinced or, you know,
I don't know. How I look at it though is those tech people, if they're any good, there's a job. 100%. It's if you're not good and you want to pretend like you're a tech person.
It was a bad example. I apologize that my example was bad, but
I mean, in general, I think
if you're in tech these days,
especially with AI, I think this is going to be more and more true in every industry. If you're not at the top, why are you there? Like, go figure out what you're actually good at and want to do, because that thing is almost guaranteed you're going to end up at the top because it's something that you're self-motivated to like strive for. So if you're doing really anything else, like you should either expect to be replaced or you have to go into something that has such an abundance of like need, but not really much in terms of skill or like, you know, motivation required, which is going to be less and less because those things are going to get automated. So you really have to lean into the things that you yourself are going to rise to the top. And honestly, that might sound intimidating, but the problem is there's a lot of at the bottom, right? There's a lot of people at the bottom that are so bad that just getting them out of the way, you know, like the top actually is, you know, the bar is really low is what I'm trying to say. To be at the top, you can flush out a lot of people at the bottom that can get rid of, you know, automation, all this stuff, or just better tooling for the people that are good, that those people can go do something else. And it's frustrating. They're like, oh, what else can we do? Well, figure it out. What are you good at? Or figure out how to be valuable. Like, to say someone else has to figure out how you get to be valuable is nuts.
Grads currently sits at roughly 5.3%, well above the national average of 4.2%. This is a historic anomaly. This is likely the first time the number has ever been this high for new grads, ever. What this shows us is that entry-level jobs are being taken by AI. Now it's happening.
Nope, that does not. See, you're just assuming.
Sadly, this is a worldwide trend. In Australia, graduate job postings keep falling year after year. All the while, graduates pour out of universities like a factory. In the UK, uni graduates are
skilled to do what? And the bar keeps lowering, and these kids can't even read. And then they want to talk, oh, well, these people are more likely to be college educated. Yeah, college educated, where the bar is so low that they don't even have a basic education still. Like, great, they're college educated, whoopee fucking do. They still can't do the basics. They still are underdeveloped and cannot handle the most basic ass shit. So I don't care if they're college educated. It literally doesn't mean anything.
are facing the toughest job market since 2018. More than half of college graduates are considered unemployable. China had a youth...
Yeah, so what do you think that's because? They're unemployable for what reason? Because rich white people are just crazy and just like I don't know. The convolution that has to go through, like, oh, well, why are these people unemployable? It can't be them because they graduated college and they probably definitely picked amazing career paths like sociology and women's studies and medieval literature and, you know, like all these very, very productive, useful degrees. I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. And I know it's a shock to them that there's just not an abundance of roles that are super high paying for these positions. This is just the most shocking thing. No one could possibly have seen this coming.
Unemployment rate of 17%.
What are the chances?
Over in the US, recent grads are now more likely to be unemployed than the general workforce. All of this is absolutely devastating for those who have worked so hard to secure their future, only to feel like they've been lied to. So what's causing it, and how long will it last? To help with clarity and understanding, I've split this episode into 3 sections. Number 1, is AI really taking entry-level jobs? Number 2,
no.
how trade and tariff concerns have caused hiring
yes,
freeze.
But no.
And number 3, the post-pandemic job market slowdown. If you're a student or recent grad, stay tuned.
God, traded tariff, you
about the
fucking
situation and what
retard.
might still be worth studying to crack a job market this bleak. And lastly, I wanted to hear from you guys, so I ran a poll on my YouTube community page, and we'll dive into some of your comments and votes at the end of this episode. So, let's take a look at the employment crisis with young graduates.
You are watching Cold Fusion TV.
Here's how a digital storm workstation can accelerate your engineering and CAD projects. We only use trusted professionals.
It wouldn't be a stretch to say.
But I got friends who graduated from college, and they don't even have a job in their field right now. Really, once you get out of college, once you graduate, honestly, you have to. It's either you move to another area, it's either you stay in the city that you're in, and hopefully a position open up, or I seen videos of people say, okay, you have no experience, you just graduated college. You know what you should do? Go work for a corporation for free, or work for half the pay rate, or something like that, just to get experience up. Because during the time period of you searching for a job, I mean, it might be.
So why'd you go to college? You may as well just went and worked for the corporation for free. If you're going to go work for free, why did you go college?
6 months to a year around that time period, and definitely if you wasn't in college working for a corporation trying to secure a job by the time you get out, you know, because that's what some nurses do. They go work for a hospital, and by the time they get out, and they're working for the same hospital. But if you didn't do something like that inside your field, once you get out, you know, hey, you're gonna be out here searching on the job market just like everybody else until, you know, you find a job that's open.
For many people out there, the scariest part of future AI is potential job loss. Since the Industrial Revolution, humans have always worried that technology would steal their jobs. And this traces back to the 19th century, when Luddites and textile workers would smash mechanized looms and set mills ablaze. Every major tech or automation wave has come with a wave of anxiety over what those inventions might do to us. But somehow, it's always worked out in the end. For example, the invention of the horseless carriage killed a lot of jobs, but created thousands of new jobs in making, selling, and servicing automobiles. Today you hear economists and of course tech giant CEOs singing a similar tune when it comes to AI. But the difference here is that although AI may just be a tool, it's different to any other tool that's come before it. It's literally the first tool that humans have invented that achieves general cognitive labor, and people are now starting to realize what that means. This is Andrew Cole. He recently posted a semi-viral video about how 3 of his skill sets have been replaced by AI 3 separate times. I'll play a portion of that for you now. Listen closely to what he's saying, especially in the context of the rest of this episode.
AI has ruined my life. Now, I know it might sound dramatic, but let me tell you why. I've always loved creative endeavors and projects. And I worked for a YouTube channel as a writer. To this day, the script I wrote for a series, it really took off. It got 3 million views. We made a second video, and that became the second most viewed video on the channel. He fired me. This guy then used AI based on the scripts I already wrote to make more lower quality videos, keeping the same series going. He's gotten millions of views ever since. So then I thought, well, publishing books on Amazon, because it looks like I have a knack for writing.
But what do you propose as the alternative?
See, I would have thought a solution would be to start your own channel.
Yeah, if you're so good. Yeah.
And then you could use AI to make your writing better than his.
Even better, exactly. You could train it to do work
and you would be
closer to
superior because
yours.
you have the writing skills to start with that would give you the ability to actually utilize AI, just like you were talking about, Pav. Yeah, that's where I thought he was going to go, but then he's like, okay, no, I'm going to start writing books. Like, really? You know that like 80% of adults in the world do not read for any type of recreation whatsoever, and you're going to like write books. You're right. You're going to be the next, like, you know, Game of Thrones guy. I don't know. Good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
It is
Worked
possible.
out for him. Worked out for J.K. Rowling, but, you know, they're one in thousands. I'm sure hundreds of thousands of people who try, I'm going to write a book and become a book famous.
So
rich.
I think I didn't even realize what you were saying initially. Like, it didn't even cross my mind. But you're right. I mean, if you believe that the writing that you're writing is what caused that channel to get millions
I mean,
of
he
views.
just said, like, I was the writer that's made this succeed, and then he fired me and he took my work and he used AI to regenerate it, like to generate new work based on it, but it wasn't as good, but it didn't matter because he was doing a lot of them. So my thought was immediately his solution would be, I'm going to start my own channel.
Yeah.
And I'll write my own crap and it'll be great. And even now I've learned from this experience, I know I can use AI to even more of an advantage because I actually wrote it and I can correct it or make it even better with AI. Yeah, I mean, that's...
Oh my God. But
How
instead
is that
he
not
just
your
was
immediate
like,
thought following what you just said? But no, he's like, okay, I'm going to write a novel.
Yeah, if
I'm
you're
such a
so
good writer.
successful at YouTube story writing, and then all of a sudden you just decided after one experience with 2 episodes. I mean, we have 100 episodes of content, and like, what the fuck? Let alone all the live stuff. That's just the edited shit, and
we
it's
don't have
like
a million views yet. I hope we
so
do someday
like
soon. But
holy
by the way, subscribe,
crap!
please.
Yeah, like and subscribe, definitely. But yeah, like
Tell
if
your
you're that
friends.
good, why is your first inclination to just give up on it and go do something else? Either he doesn't believe it himself, or he's an idiot, or like literally, I don't understand that. Like you're like, oh, I'm so good at this to the point of like really being an outlier. But no, I'm not going to keep doing that because someone screwed me over, supposedly, whatever that means, and ruined my life with AI. And I'm going to go write books to people that don't exist.
Gurus on YouTube got rich from searching keywords and generating a book using AI to write books. I just simply can't compete. I can't write that fast. I'm not here to complain, right? But
yeah, and like you said, don't write that fast. Exactly. Let AI do it, and then you fix it.
Right.
It's just dawning on me that I can't compete with this AI, dude. And that's the problem that has basically been messing me up for 3 years. I've been trying to run for the last 3
Oh my God. And this is where
Well,
the
it seems-
victim comes in.
Yeah, I know he'll get into it. I'm the victim and how AI has ruined his life. But it's like there's this, they said about at the beginning of this, where the new technology comes, people freak out, and then things work out in the end. And in fact, most people's lives improve because, like, the example of like the car, you got people who had jobs that the car displaced. But do you know what jobs they displaced? The guy who was literally shoveling up horse poop from the streets. Like, that's the guy's job that got lost from cars. And cars instead gave the opportunity to become a mechanic and make a whole lot more money than being the guy who shovels up horse poop. So, no, and, you know, there's other people who were affected, I'm sure, but it's like, I mean, it's true. So, and just like he's like the example of this, I want to do this thing, but I don't know how to do it because AI is in my way, without realizing that AI is his solution to becoming even more successful.
In fact, AI is waiting for you.
Perfect example of that, and he's not doing it. So I got to like let's let him continue. Maybe he actually comes across AI. It's like, hey, maybe I should try this out.
Yeah,
see how I do.
We'll see.
I'll do everything else, but not that.
Skills, lowering the bars for skill sets to the point where your skill set suddenly becomes useless. And AI has been central to doing that to me. I wonder if anyone else feels like they can't escape their skill set being completely devalued by whatever new AI technology comes out next.
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual time.
I mean, it's kind of a bummer if you put your time and energy into trying to achieve something and then you can't because some technology comes along. But
for a reason. But we knew we could.
Like you said, just use the technology.
Right. But at the same time, if you can actually use that technology in a way that only you can because of your skill set, or very few people because of their same skill set can, and use it to even make your work even better.
Mm-hmm.
Especially AI. I mean, AI is great for making your, like, I've written like crappy emails and I'm like, I don't want to actually refine this. And I throw it into AI and I say, make this sound better and more, concise. And it does, like, first try. And I'm like, make one little change. And I'm like, okay, perfect. Second try. I'm like, and I didn't have to spend an hour or, 20 minutes, whatever, refining this stupid email because I have to take all these things into consideration. I'm just like, no, it needs to be short to the point so it's actionable. And I'm like, here, AI, tell me what to do. And they're like, here you go. And I'm like, that's perfect.
Perfect.
All right. But I knew what I wanted to say and I knew what the whole point was. And I knew if it wasn't going to say it correctly, I would have recognized that. But the fact that it worked so quickly, so accurately the first time was like, I was delighted. I'm like, yay. And I use it all the time now for that.
Yep.
Like, this just makes things so much faster and easier. But without that initial knowledge of how to write the email and how to address it to people and what's my point and what's my objective in this email, like, I wouldn't know what to tell AI to do that would actually work. Like, I would just come up with some gobbledygook and send that along and hope it worked out.
But I think that illustrates the general case of everyone can understand that, and then take that and apply that to a specific case. Like, oh, I need to generate something in a tool that I use for work, and it takes XYZ steps and blah, 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 and I get this output. The point is that if you know what you're doing and you're good, as this guy's claiming,
yeah,
then you can leverage the tool.
Position.
Yeah,
that's a good word. He's
you are
in
the
perfect
best
position
person
to leverage AI to his own advantage.
because
And yet
anyone
he
can
doesn't seem
leverage
to
it,
he's
but they're
not
going to
connecting
get
the dots,
sub-quality
as far as I can
product,
tell.
like he said initially too. He used AI, and the guy that cut him out got sub-quality product. Great, that's the point, because that person isn't skilled like you and can't close the gap,
He
but
can't
you
make
can.
it good. He can just make it good enough, whereas you can actually make it good. And good is ultimately better, and it'll, especially in the long run, when you're putting out media, it's going to show.
Yeah, good is better in the long run.
I think it should.
But for that guy who's just getting something out when there's no competition, good enough is the winner. And I think that's the thing that people need to understand too, is like, yeah, this guy's good enough. And if you had just stepped up and been like, you know what? No, I'm not going to let you cut me out because I'm the talent here. And in fact, I'm going to rip you off and I'm going to do my own thing, and we'll see who wins through a free market, right? And if you really are better and you can lean into it better and you can do, because maybe maybe the other person that ripped you off, quote unquote, is doing 100 other things at an excellent level, to the point that that's actually going to keep him ahead of you, right? Because maybe in the grand scheme of the formula, you think that you're the most important thing, but there's 10 other things involved that he's really good at that you can't keep up with, and you can only do this one part. Who knows? But the point is, you should be able to leverage this. And if you think it's that valuable, why couldn't you convince him? So there's just a lot of things involved here.
I agree with some of that too. Yeah.
Listening to Andrew's story, you just can't help but feel for him.
Actually, I agree with that.
So some might say that Andrew's story is just what always happens when humanity progresses. Gen Z is just going to have to adapt to AI. But the flip side is, what's happening to Andrew now might happen to a large proportion of us in 5 years, myself included. As an example, even though a cold fusion video could take a month to make totally by hand, when the video's posted, there's always a flood of comments saying that the video's AI generated and that I'm AI, and it just makes me think and really shows me where we're at. Anyway, this isn't to doom a video, and of course, we'll get to solutions and ways to navigate later in the episode, so don't worry. I'm just highlighting Andrew's story because it's the reality of our times. It's very much worth thinking about and discussing, however uncomfortable. So to answer the first question at the start of this episode, yes, AI is taking graduate jobs. Back in 2023, Goldman Sachs predicted that AI could wipe out 300 million jobs. 2 years later, we see some evidence of that, from low-skill jobs to admin roles or creative jobs.
300 million jobs where? It has to be globally, because we don't even have that many people. What are you talking about? Like,
I'm guessing it means worldwide. 300 million is a lot of jobs.
Yeah, what the fuck are you
100 million
talking
jobs.
about? 300
2 years later,
million?
we see some evidence of that, from low-skill jobs to admin roles or creative jobs, white-collar jobs, and even
Warehouse and assembly line jobs, factory workers. Doesn't really say in that one. Fintech. So,
I mean, retail jobs were already hit hard by the simple internet coming in, like Amazon and stuff. Like that's like destroyed them, and the internet destroyed journalism. But new types of journalism have appeared, including YouTube. And then, it's like, yeah, these things do happen, but they're also not telling you what other new jobs are appearing as a result of AI.
yeah, well, not even new jobs that are appearing, but now you get less people
New
can
industry.
do more, or like the company with the same number of people can take on more projects, because we don't have to cut, right? There's the alternate option of like, we could build a whole new product, like
growth.
We could do things that we couldn't before because there weren't people, and now there's people, or people plus tooling that enables an amount of output that can enable more products or whatever. And I don't know. I think it's short-sighted. I mean, it's kind of making it seem like there's some sort of inherently fixed number of jobs that like is it can't be like you can't make more somehow, and that all the new jobs would inherently somehow only be able to be done by AI or robots or something. And it's like
some things may come back. Like, if AI makes it so you don't have to work in the factory, or you need to find something different to do, then creativity prompts people to come up with new ideas that they can then use in an entrepreneurial way. And that then therefore drives innovation, and other people are like, hey, this guy had a great idea, that gives me an idea, and I'm going to be a competitor because I think I can do it better. And that's called capitalism. So I don't know what's wrong with this exactly. I do understand the immediate fear of the immediate job, like I do this thing and I don't want to lose my job and have to look for another job. But exactly who are we speaking about, and what jobs are we talking about? Because there's a lot of, like in this case, there's a lot of easy transfer of skills, and not even stepping outside of what they were trying to do in the first place. He was literally selling his skills as a writer to a guy who ripped him off AI. I would think then saying, well, I would then do better to cut out this guy who ripped me off, and instead I will use AI to make
I will be the bigger ripper off.
In this particular case, it's hard for me to understand why this guy went from that to I'm going to write a novel and sell it on Amazon. Which, although it's still related to writing, is not really the same focus at all. It's just like, because that's a lot of time, and then you don't know if you're going to be successful or not, especially on your first book. And a lot of people aren't.
I think a visual script is very different from a book.
You find a good editor who's like, dude, you ain't that great. I'm going to be working really hard to make you even decent. And then they're like, maybe I should switch careers. I don't know. I assume that AI will cause disruption, as it has been, but it will also open up new opportunities. And, maybe it will make the world work in such a way that we really don't need to work that much. Like, it'll bring costs down. Like, that would be fantastic if things got way cheaper, so that it wasn't as hard to make ends meet, just because AI makes it so much more efficient to produce. I don't know. I don't know what the outcome is going to be. Could also just become a super mind and take over everything. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. One of the things I've been kind of thinking about and trying to see if I agree with or not, I haven't decided yet really, but they talk about if you're a factory and let's say you replace all your workers with robots. Okay, well, that's fine, but maybe in that case, you need to pay some sort of robot only fee or something, because you got to somehow contribute back into society if you're getting rid of all the things people can do. And that means your margins are down. Up, and you don't have to worry about people. You just get robots. They work around the clock or whatever, and if one breaks, you just buy a new one or whatever. But you inherently are less you have less barrier compared to someone actually employing people, number one.
Oh, there's a lot of things you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about health insurance, any sort of pension or anything like that. You're obviously not paying into the Social Security system, unemployment system because of that. Your overhead is way lower. No sick time, no vacation time. They're robots. They don't care. They don't have feelings. Safety would go down because you don't have to worry about people getting hurt if there's no people. Mm-hmm. So you can pack in those robots, and you just have to have that one guy who comes in who risks his life to fix them, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it could go a bad way. And that's the factory scenario that you're describing. But at the same time, You don't have to work in a factory 9 to 5 and come home longer and come home dead tired and
I think it's a good thing to do it.
And instead, you get to go into work like twice a week when the machine breaks, and otherwise you get to spend your time with your family and enriching your own life.
What I'm saying though is, I think we need to do it, but I think because that factory is not going to be paying all these other things, they're not going to be paying people. Like those are the things that should fuel the cost of society. Is like,
I kind of agree too. Yeah, no, I think that's fair. I don't think that's, as long as the company's still profiting, and that's a lot of worry and stuff they don't have to deal with by automating.
Oh yeah, they need to still be profitable
in a lot of ways,
but
they still have to be profitable. Absolutely.
I think doing that allows that transition.
Trade-off, like I pay more into the system, but I ultimately make more because I'm not also paying all this other stuff. Like, I don't think that's going to be a hard decision to make. That's math. That's easy. It's like I got all these factors that annually cost me, this many millions of dollars versus I have a set cost of this many $1 million, which is much lower. I think I'll go with that one. Right.
Yeah.
It's just,
and we got to keep the people, like, you don't want civil unrest. Like somehow we got to keep the people happy.
No. And I think that's kind of where like universal income will probably come into play.
But that's where I think it's got to be like based off a family. Like if you're a family, one of you can stay home.
Individual of the age group, like a 30-year-old able-bodied man doesn't get as much as, in a 65-year-old, retiree or whatever it might be, as far as what they have done and what they will do for society. There should be some expectation of what they will do, as well as what you've done and paying into the system to a degree, because you're always going to get people who just want to leech off the system and not contribute.
But I think that's where the smaller communal groups
easy
help.
For everyone to contribute, but not have to like totally grind all the time and hate their life because they hate their job. Like that's just great. Everyone would be happier. I think that would lead to a more peaceful society. Unfortunately, I think the truth is somewhat opposite. I think it gives too many people too much time on their hands to do stupid stuff.
Maybe, but I think if people are generally like happier, like they're not going to do dumb shit. Like, and especially
I think education,
that's got to be built into it.
Proper types of socialization, and I think your general solution for doing that with schools makes a lot of sense. Like, teaching younger people how to socialize is just as important as teaching them how to add and subtract and divide and multiply.
And they should be separated.
And
like when they can't be civil and learning, exactly. They need to be. You can learn math on your own. You can learn how to behave with other children together. That makes sense to me. But
makes perfect sense.
Assuming that people all
becomes
learn
more
at the
efficient,
same.
and you can, make sure certain people don't fall, like get forgotten or fall between the cracks, or so to speak. So society will ultimately function better and will be even a more awesome place.
It will be so much better. And honestly, I was just thinking, and I'll think about this more, but I feel like if you're a family and both of you are working, like one of you needs to be taxed into oblivion, because we need to make sure that people are disincentivized for that. Like,
well, yeah, except that the problem is people do that now because they have to.
Exactly.
So as long as you make it so they don't have to anymore, then that'd be fantastic.
Well, I think some people do it anyway, and we want to disincentivize that.
Society kind of tricked us in that, like, we had that for forever, for a long time.
We need to bring it back. And it needs to be incentivized.
They convinced people that they could get even more if they both worked. And then now we don't have, like, families anymore.
You can get more, but you got to pay it all to childcare, and school isn't going to teach your kids.
Now it's to the point where it was a way of like getting more luxury in life, but now it's a way that you have to do it in order to just get by. So like I
don't think it even is a net positive. Like, it's
supporting their entire family.
I feel like you come out behind even if you're both working, because the amount that you pay out for someone else to deal with your kids.
Oh yeah,
I feel like you're in the hole.
You're probably going to wind up a kid with some problems because their parents aren't around to help them with it. So they're going to have to turn to other people who may or may not actually have their best interest in mind.
Even if they do, they're watching 20 kids. They can only do so much.
Or they might just, give them bad advice. Worked for me. I'm sure it'll work for you, kid.
So I don't know, man. It's
when in
like
doubt, rob a bank. I'm sure it'll work out for you.
We have to start shifting priorities to incentivizing these things in the right direction. Otherwise, nobody's going to have a job, and there's going to be no jobs, and there's no money, and the companies are making bank because they don't have to pay people, and they just have robots, and who cares? Like if we're not prepared for it, like if we just let it happen, it's going to be the worst outcome possible, because once money's involved, like people aren't going to want to give it up. But if ahead of time we're like preparing for it and we're like aligning, okay, this is how it can work before the greed is set in, and we agree before the greed gets here, this is how it's going to work. It has a much better chance.
Degree-heavy jobs are all at risk now. AI can do some of that stuff, of course, and we all know right now it's with varying degrees of success.
NBC News has learned President Biden will step aside as the presumptive Democratic nominee.
It was a problem for young voters that they had an older candidate on the ballot until he dropped out and when Kamala Harris got in there.
Team USA is being built. We will take home the gold.
This Jasmine Crockett.
Recent polls show Vice President Kamala Harris leading former President Donald Trump among voters under the age of 30.
Democratic operatives and some pollsters even say that they think the youth vote has been underpolled. She could be doing even better against Trump nationally than we're seeing now.
Gen Z has
the ability to really shift an election.
You can't count on a generation to save you.
The Fox News decision desk can now officially project that Donald Trump will become the 47th president of the United States.
In the 2024 election, young voters didn't turn out for Democrats as expected. But Gen Z is not a monolithic voting bloc. They're far from it. We spoke with journalists, commentators, activists, experts, politicians, and voters from across the political spectrum to make sense of Gen Z's rightward shift and try to answer the question, is Gen Z's shift to the right a 2024 anomaly, or is it the future?
I find that interesting. The Gen Zers I know, I would say, lean either definitely voted for Kamala or fell into the I could care less and I have better things to worry about.
Even though they don't have anything better to worry about, and they don't realize how impactful this shit actually is.
Just can't be bothered. So I don't really care. I can't be bothered with
this. I mean, I agree. This has not been my
voting
experience.
Is better than voting stupid, so that's fine.
But I'm wondering if this is like a much more recent thing, like after they lost.
I'm sorry.
I keep interrupting you. I apologize. When it happened. Go ahead.
With the voting loss? What? Dropping it to 18?
No, I'm just wondering if this shift is like after the election and they lost, and then they're looking like, why'd we lose? And I think possibly some of Gen Z are realizing that all the gender crap is like not good, and it shouldn't have been what they were running on.
Stupid. Yeah, it is kind of stupid. It's it's like just so abstract, and it's like everyone's opinion on exactly what it means is a little different. So it's like, but we're doing it too, but good reason.
But that's good reason to do. But that's what I'm like. I don't have this experience. Like I agree. Like overall, I
don't either. Really, I just like they're young and that's
left.
Their opinion, and I don't really think about them as being Gen Z. But I realize now they are Gen Z. Like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
First Gen Z.
But their opinions are super mixed. I mean, they're all my nieces and nephews, to be honest. I mean, there's a number of them, and they're just like, and it's except for maybe a couple of my nephews are maybe a little bit conservative, but One, I think maybe is. The other, I think he's like kind of like, I don't really care. The other, I definitely doesn't care. And then my nieces are split. Like one's super liberal and the other one's like, whatever. I don't care. Old people one way or another. It's like, okay.
But I think that's the problem. When you see if someone's liberal or conservative, it normally comes down to, are they uninformed and just feelings based, or are they like talking about actual policy?
Yeah,
there's not like the policy.
Conservative, in my opinion, that he's in the military and he's been around and he's young, but he's already seen some things. So I mean, he's visited places and met people. So he's not ignorant, and he's smart. He's real smart. It's like there's a smart gene in our family. It probably skipped me, but it hit him.
So you got the smart kid who went to the military to serve his country, has seen some shit, and decided out of all the things that maybe actually,
maybe common sense. He's just more, he's got his head on straight kind of a dude, and he's like you kind of have to respect his opinion because he's done the things right. So and then I have another nephew who's also very intelligent, but he, I don't know his opinion, to be honest. And I think therefore he probably doesn't have a strong one either way, or at least he's not vocal about it. The other one, I know he's just got too much on his hands to care about politics. And I don't think he should be that concerned with politics with all of the things that he has to deal with. And then my nieces, like I said, they're just split. One's just, doesn't really care that much. It's like not something she's really that interested in learning about. So she doesn't have an opinion. And then the other one's like, I'll just like super hardcore, like rainbow world. So, it is what it is.
I think at one point, you could kind of be, I would say just not caring. You could just be neutral, like whatever. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And I was for a very long time. I just like politics didn't interest me. And I didn't see much difference between the options.
But now I don't think that's reasonable.
Like mature, capable people who could lead our country. And it didn't really matter which one I chose because the difference in opinions didn't affect me. As long as the garbage keeps getting picked up and I don't get drafted to go to war, I really didn't really bother me either way. Print money, don't print money. Inflation, well, that sucks. But hey, bull economy, that's the good one, right?
Yeah, the bulls.
So
bulls are good.
The 80s were a very good time for my family. Let me tell you, we had the best Christmases. The 90s weren't bad. Things seemed like everything was going to go great, and then 9/11.
Yeah, I don't know. There's just so much here. Nowadays, you cannot just let it go because the problem is the crazies, they don't let it go. And
they don't. But they also don't listen or talk. They just yell and have temper tantrums.
Exactly. So unfortunately, the reasonable people can't just be neutral. Exactly. You can't just stand by anymore. You have to be involved because the number of people that are delusional are just growing and they're getting stronger. And this is what they do. This is what their life identity revolves around. Even though it's so detrimental to them often, they're rooting for things that are
and they don't seem to really understand what they're so passionate about, which is so bizarre. It's like Greta Thunberg. She's a bad example because she's crazy, but
they're all crazy.
It's I'm gonna go and do this thing that I think is so important, and I will absolutely refuse to listen to or see any information to the contrary. Mm-hmm. It's like this willful ignorance. I think we had a video about that a couple weeks ago that kind of went over that. It's like I can understand you being passionate about something, but if you're unwilling to talk about it or even listen to the other side or help us understand even help us understand why you're so angry.
Yeah. Well, and
you
stop
can't.
spending all the time pretending you don't understand anything that we say, and
Right.
then we're
You just
supposed to
yell, and when we,
understand all your convoluted shit
challenge
somehow.
you on this stuff. You just like break down. You either run away, or you claim to be triggered, or you make up some stuff that didn't happen so that you can be the victim.
Gen Z stare, yep.
That's not Gen Z though. That's liberals we're talking about.
Yeah,
in case anyone.
But this
we
is
got
a
off on
liberal
little
Gen
tangent.
Z. Gen Z
Yeah,
liberal
well,
would do
obviously.
that.
Poor me.
Yeah.
Society. Where? AI. Where?
Born in 1997. As of 2025, are ages 13 to 28.
In many ways, if you look at when Gen Z first became voters in the electorate, they broke overwhelmingly for Democrats. If you think about what shaped them.
Yeah, exactly. Think about that for a second. They used to be the 18 to 24-year-old block, and they were mostly Democrats. Now they're the 18 to 28 year, meaning they've had 4 years beating their head against the real world. The real world finally showed up.
True. It does
and they
change
got
after
some
schools.
actual
You go to
life
jobs for the first
experience. And now they're looking around like, oh my God, what an idiot I was. And just like a lot of us, right, in our early years, we don't understand why this stuff doesn't work. We just hear the rhetoric of free, free, free. And like, why can't it be free? And then we understand why it can't be free later in life. And then everybody moved from the left over to the right. So we got 4 years.
It does have a tendency to happen, yes. As you get older and wiser, you do tend to become more conservative.
And that is only going to get older. So now we're going to have, again, 18 to 32-year-olds. One more time, it'll be Gen Z. But over half of them will have gone through enough real world that they're going to be primarily right-wing. And ideally, they'll join the bandwagon of idiot children are not allowed to vote. If you're in college, you're not allowed to vote. If you're a dependent, you're not allowed to vote. If you're not married, we'll come back to that one.
We'll come back. Apparently, we're going to come back to that one.
That's for the second round to clean up. But if you're not born in this, if you're not a legal citizen of this country,
oh, absolutely,
through whatever mechanism, get the fuck out of here. If you're not smart enough to get a government ID to show it during voting, you're not allowed to vote. Get the fuck out of here. Like, none of this is unreasonable. This isn't some like, oh, these slaves are too dumb to learn how to get an ID. Like, no, that worked in the 1800s, not now. Like, shut up.
From a political perspective, they were coming of age during the Trump presidency, the Me Too movement, the Black Lives Matter movement, and the pandemic.
And apparently, what is it? Byron Trump is like 18 feet tall and like a beast. Is just like, do you see how tall this kid is? I think he's genetically, I think he's like the genetically enhanced super kid or something. Like, Trump was like, all right, the last one, we're going to go with the super serum and see what happens.
Super genetics.
Yeah, apparently Bill Gates has been working on some shit. I imagine they're all in the rich people club, like injecting their kids with all kind of super genes. I don't know. I believe it. And one of the things, apparently, he's 18 feet tall and like a genius. So I don't know. He's going to be president in 10 years or whatever, 13 years when we go to election again.
I voted for Kamala Harris. Donald Trump.
Kamala Harris.
Trump.
Kamala Harris. President Trump.
I voted for her because I agree with a lot more of her policies and things that she wanted to implement, obviously, than I did.
Didn't we watch a clip of Kamala recently telling us how stupid kids between 18 and 24 are?
Yeah, and then another clip where we're going to watch today where she thinks they should be allowed to vote.
Young people between 18 and 24, and that is they are dumb.
And they can't do anything. Exactly.
Like, wow.
All right, yeah. Okay. Barron apparently is 6'9". Yeah, exactly. He's a fucking giant. He's just like
6'9".
He's like head and shoulders over everyone else in the room, just like a beast. Like, yeah, what up? Like, holy crap. Oh, my Chrome just crashed. Interesting. All right. Well, this guy apparently agrees with Kamala Harris's quote unquote policies, even though that's as deep as he goes, and he doesn't like Trump. Can we imagine, like, if this person had said literally anything, I could have like political, he could have said the room is white. I've been like, all right, you're a Democrat and you voted for Kamala Harris. Like,
it's the glasses.
It's the glasses. It's the hair. It's the dark-skinned white person.
Hair,
it's the nose.
For me, it's definitely the glasses.
It's this thing. It's literally every single thing about this person. Even without the glasses, look at this lips.
Political.
Look at this lips
based on their nose.
Yes, you can. In this case, you can.
By his lips because of his expression.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. He's just 1 second short of pecking us with his hands.
Yeah, this is not the face of a conservative with or without glasses. All of this says, I'm a libtard who doesn't know a fucking thing. And that's why I think it's so easy. Like, we don't even need voter ID. We just need to have someone in a MAGA hat.
We just need AI to be like, nope, you're a liberal, out. Bye-bye.
Yeah, they could just literally scan a picture of this person and be like, no, we're going to throw your vote in the trash because
special ballots
your brain doesn't
actually.
Yeah, exactly. They get the special election. Yes, I like that.
Not a fan of Trump at all.
I'd kind of known from his 2016 run that.
What do you think? Trump, no Trump?
I'd say no Trump. He's going to say no Trump.
This is a Trumper.
I think this with the glasses.
Well, he's Asian. A lot of Asians have like bad eyes.
It's the style of glasses. Maybe I'm wrong though.
Yeah, but they
contemporary
all
glasses are a little. It's hard to find ones.
With this type of Asian,
yeah, okay.
The glasses
he could go either way. He could go
don't
either way.
qualify. But I'm happy that you brought that up.
American worker, the American people. And I was a big fan of that.
Her values align.
He was all about America first. That beautiful Asian boy.
Based on her glasses is 100% a liberal.
Yeah, this one was easy, and the nose thing,
and
everything.
The hair, and the and the nose ring is actually a dead giveaway.
Everything.
100% with the nose ring, actually.
More with mine. Her whole stance on gun control.
Her stance on gun control. Which is what exactly? What do you think her stance on gun control is?
That's her stance. Guns are bad.
That's not her stance, actually. She's a gun owner, and she, and that's what I'm saying. Like, these people are so dumb that, like, you're bringing up gun control from the woman who said she likes guns.
I assume you're right. I assumed. See, I tried to learn what her stance was on just about anything, and I can't tell you. I really can't. Other than Donald Trump is bad. That's the only thing I heard her say.
Mm-hmm. Well, everything else is nonsense. I mean, even the fact that she likes guns, she'll be like, oh, I'm a gun owner and I think people should have guns. But at the same time, she'll be like, oh, we need more gun control. Like,
right.
Okay. So your position is what exactly?
Right.
Can you elaborate for us, please?
Issues like immigration rights, LGBTQIA+ rights, women's rights. I think I stood more with her.
Women's rights, gay rights, trans rights, queer rights. All these things are so important that we had to vote for the dumbest person in the history of America. Got it.
Personally, I do like the way he handles the economy, so that is a big plus.
A lot.
Executive Director of Gen Z for Change. I wonder which way this is going to go.
Of demographics of young people were assumed to be safely Democratic voters, and that assumption was based on a faulty premise of the past.
What we saw in 2024 was a departure from young Americans' role as a Democratic stronghold. While young voters turned out to vote less in 2024 than they did in 2020, they still voted for Harris in larger numbers than they voted for Trump. However, polls show that voters ages 18
not by
to
that
29
much.
supported Harris in 2024, 13 points less than they supported Biden in 2020.
Well, I mean, that could be for a number of reasons, I guess, but she's an idiot.
One critical group that helped the president-elect complete his unprecedented political comeback, young men.
The left was alienating them. They were only appealing to, I think, Gen Z.
Which is crazy because a lot of these people are still like these white young men. It's like literally these people hate you. So why are and it's like the self-hate. It's the
especially white men for some reason. Young white men did vote strongly for Trump in 2024, which is part of the reason he got elected. Like every swing state was like young men got out and voted, and I'm sure young men in general did. But I heard reports that young African Americans did not. Like they just like they didn't like Trump, but they also couldn't see any reason to vote for Harris, so they just didn't vote. Apparently,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm like it's like same thing. Like it's better to not vote than to vote stupid, in my opinion. So cool.
Especially when your vote would have went for the other person.
Right. Especially when your vote would have gone for the wrong person. That's what I mean by stupid.
Yeah.
Or just voting because you don't know either way and because you've heard society say how horrible Trump is, but you haven't actually bothered to look into it yourself. You just decided to do it because whatever. Like, I'd rather you just be lazy and not get up and vote.
Oh yeah, then yeah, exactly, 100%. Then go in on some bullshit like propaganda, anti-Trump shit.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're like super late. I'm gonna try and run through the last couple of these. We have so many to get through, but I'm gonna try and blitz through a few.
You say that a lot. I don't know if you know what it means. Thinks it means. I don't mean it. I don't think it means what.
That just means I'm taking control and I'm gonna be cracking the whip.
You're focused. No distractions.
If 40% of today's jobs disappeared tomorrow, would the world really be any different? This isn't just a thought experiment. It's a real question posed by the late anthropologist David Graeber, and it gets to the heart of a secret anxiety haunting the modern workplace. It's a question that might explain why you feel so drained, so disconnected, so fundamentally tired of your job. If you've ever sat at your desk staring at a spreadsheet or an email chain and felt a creeping sense of absurdity, a quiet voice in your head asking, what is the point of any of this? You are not alone. And more importantly, it's not your fault. You're not lazy. You're not entitled. You're just allergic to bullshit. For years, we've been told that Gen Z is the problem generation at work, job hopping, quiet quitting, and burning out at record rates. But what if they aren't the problem? What if they're the first generation to correctly diagnose the disease? Today on Gen Shift, we're exploring the rise of bullshit jobs, roles that exist.
Do you hear this intro? This is the most unbelievable
we're all
bullshit.
In the Matrix, and Gen Z is the first one to be Neo.
Unreal. Like this one I feel like has to be trolling. There's no way you're this fucking stupid. Like, oh, these kids are the first one that realize how pointless working is. And
they're the first ones that realize how stupid just going to a job is. Yeah, really? You think you're the first, huh? Really?
And look at this face, like, oh my God, they figured it out. They're gonna do something. I mean,
we don't even have to go back that far, but we could like watch The Honeymooners. Will tell you that there's been a time, not that like before color TV, that people hated their jobs, right? There's a part of the Bible called Exodus about people who hated their jobs, so they left, right? I mean, it was like, I hate working for the man. I'm out.
Oh my God, this is so crazy. To live. That's why I had to play this one, because it's like, oh man, this is another just bonkers opinion that's being barfed across the internet.
Most of my jobs
exist without purpose, and revealing how Gen Z supposed
the ones I get paid
is
for.
Actually a profound and necessary critique of a broken system. So if you're ready to understand
I love my job so they don't get paid.
Make sure you're subscribed to Gen Shift and let's decode this crisis of meaning. 1. The anatomy of a bullshit job, defining the meaningless. The idea of the bullshit job exploded into public consciousness in 2013 when David Graeber published a provocative essay that went viral. He later expanded it into a book, defining a bullshit job as a form of paid employment that is so completely pointless, unnecessary, or pernicious that even the employee cannot justify its existence. This isn't just about having a
What does it matter if an employer needs something done and he's willing to pay you for it, and you're willing to do the job for the amount that he's paying you for it? Shut up. Like, who cares? And that's why AI is coming around to get rid of shit, because there's a bunch of pointless ass jobs.
As long as nobody finds out, then it's called job security.
bad day or a boring task. It's about the deep spiritual damage that comes from being forced to pretend your work matters when you know deep down that it doesn't. Graeber called this a profound psychological violence.
Literally, if someone's paying you to do something, clearly it matters enough to someone to pay you to do it. Yep. Like, get the fuck over it, or go figure out something better to do. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
A scar across our collective soul, because humans have an innate need to feel that their actions have a tangible, positive effect on the world. When that need is denied day after day, it creates a state of cognitive dissonance.
Denied? Someone's just denying you the capability of going to do something meaningful? Like, literally nobody. Literally everybody would tell you, great, go do whatever makes you super happy and productive. If you don't like putting shoes into boxes, don't do that. No one's making you.
There's lots of jobs. You can dig holes.
To give this phenomenon a language, Graeber identified 5 main archetypes of meaningless work. As we explore them, you might find some of them uncomfortably familiar. First, there are the flunkies. These are jobs that exist primarily to make someone else look or feel important. Think of a receptionist at a company with no visitors, hired simply so the executive can say they have a receptionist. Or imagine a junior associate, bright-eyed and full of ambition, whose primary role becomes printing out 50-page reports, triple-checking that the staple is perfectly aligned in the top left corner, and hand-delivering them to a manager who glances at the cover before adding it to a stack of identical, unread reports. The psychological harm here is a feeling of subservience and utter uselessness. Your existence is tied to someone else's ego, not to any real function. Then we have the goons. These are roles that have an aggressive or deceptive element, jobs that exist only because other people employ them. This category includes corporate lobbyists, aggressive telemarketers, and public relations specialists hired to make a destructive company look good. The harm here is morale. You spend your days knowing your work might be making the world a slightly worse, more manipulative, or more annoying place, creating a constant low-grade conflict with your own
Don't do it. Oh my God. And if you're a receptionist at a job that doesn't have anyone needing reception, great. That means you can do something else all day, or like figure out how to be learning some skill, since you don't have to do work clearly.
Software. Yeah, learn how to code.
No one's going to tell you to just sit there like stone-faced staring at the wall. I mean, maybe, but then don't take the job. Like, I doubt anyone's paying you to just not work and look at the wall all day and will not accept you doing something else. Like, that's just nutty. And then this person, like, if you feel like you're making the world a worse place, well, don't do whatever you're doing. I don't know what to tell you. You couldn't figure out literally anything else to do but that one thing.
Conscience. The third category is duct tapers. These are the problem solvers whose entire job is to fix glitches that should never have happened in the first place. This is the customer service representative who spends their entire day apologizing for and reprocessing orders that are consistently wrong because of a buggy, outdated e-commerce system the company won't invest in fixing. Or,
and what if it's cheaper for the company to just pay you to do it than fix the system? See, these are things people don't even think about. Like, what if it is literally cheap? Just like when people pay these huge fines to the government and shit. It's like, well, the cost of doing the right thing is way higher than the cost of the fine. Fuck it. We'll pay a fine.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be,
that was an environmental problem a lot. They're fines for like dumping waste, like toxic waste in the middle of the ocean was like pennies compared to the millions they were making by creating the product in the first place and not paying legit disposal fees.
Yeah, so not dealing with the output correctly. Right. Exactly.
Like,
Now, in that case, of course, that's not good because that's just like bad
but that's a problem with with the courts and stuff, you know.
But in this case, I mean, it literally might be cheaper to just deal with a bug or some system that's broken, or like, you know, rewriting the whole system to actually account for whatever the hell it is that you need to account for. It literally just might be more effective. And I'm sorry, but if you don't like the job, don't do it. Like, again, I don't know.
The program endlessly patching shoddy code written years ago. The psychological toll is one of immense frustration and futility. You exist because the organization would rather pay for a bandage than heal the underlying wound.
And that's also a mentality. This could be your job is super important because they couldn't program it and it's cost too much for them to fix it. And you're critically important piece of the puzzle to make sure that it works correctly. All right, it's a mentality. You could look at it in any way you want to. You want to be an angry bitch? Be an angry bitch. You want to be the superhero? Be the superhero.
Wound, a constant reminder of systemic incompetence. Fourth, we have the box tickers. These are employees who perform tasks that allow an organization to claim it's doing something that in reality, it is not. This is the person who generates beautifully formatted weekly reports that no one reads, administers employee
Human Resources
surveys whose
Department.
results are never acted upon, or runs a corporate social media account that just reposts generic platitudes. It's the performance of productivity without any actual substance. The harm is a sense of institutional dishonesty of being a paid actor in a corporate play that has no audience and no impact. Finally, there are the taskmasters.
Figure out how to actually be productive within that. When you're checking the boxes, figure out how to check it and actually provide value. Like, how about that? Or instead of being an idiot, like, check that box and 10 other boxes that weren't on the list. Like, what the fuck is wrong with these people?
This category has two flavors: those who assign pointless work to others and those who supervise people who don't need supervising. This is the middle manager whose main function is to schedule daily check-in meetings where team members simply report the status of tasks already tracked on a shared project management board. They don't just have a bullshit job, they create bullshit for others, generating a cascade of meaninglessness and resentment throughout.
Usually, yes, that is a bullshit job. Sometimes, no, that is a required job.
The organization. While subsequent research has questioned Graeber's estimate that up to 50% of jobs are bullshit, the number of people who feel their jobs are useless is closer to 20%. His theory's power was never in its precise numbers. Its genius was in giving a name and a framework to a widespread soul-crushing feeling. He diagnosed the illness, and Generation Z is now living with.
And now we have another thing we can be victims about. And that's what drives me crazy. It's like all this just being victims. So I thought about doing something a little bit different at the end here. We're kind of looking at a few of these Gen Z influencers. We're going to check out a few of the things that they're talking about and how their posts look like and what are they exactly providing to the Gen Zs. So we looked at this guy's stuff before. Alex Way. I don't know how anyone watches his stuff, honestly. He sits here and like mopes into the camera, but I'm assuming that's appealing to someone. And then does not provide any sort of like, oh, here's how we could improve. It's just always complaining. Both sides failed us. It's time for something new.
That seems to be a theme that we're coming across, this always complaining without any solutions.
Lots of complaining and no solutions.
Or complaining and then missing the solution that you literally were like right on the edge of, and you just completely skipped over it and went to something else and complained about that. So
that's
it's like, okay.
True. That's true.
These people just need somebody like a father figure to smack them upside the head every once in a while. Be like, you're an idiot. Smack.
So this one is a little bit weird because we're tired of the corporate oligarchy, which of course, Sanders here, and the endless wars. And what endless wars are we talking about? Like, there's been no wars, retard. Like, this talking point, like, you don't even know the basics. Like, the basics. We've had no war. Corporate oligarchy. This is happening, actually. And it's kind of crazy. Like, NVIDIA, the biggest company in the world, the first $5 trillion company, this company is worth more than most countries, went up by like 10% the other day.
Wow.
And I think it was more than that. Like over the last week, it went from like 180 to 211 or something, and which is about like a 20% growth. So you're talking about the largest company in the world growing at a rate that is just unbelievably huge.
A lot. That is a huge amount.
It's like their company grew the size of like Tesla over a week. You know what I'm saying? It's like, holy crap. That is how the money is moving right now. Is we have a very, 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 very small handful of companies, about 10. It's known as a Mag 7, and then there's a couple extra that you add into that, but like Broadcom. And these companies are getting all of the money. And like Intel recently exploded after they gave some, stake to the government, and then, they're going to be doing some stuff with NVIDIA about fabs, and like all of the chips companies are starting to get like, oh, we're going to invest $100 billion into this company and this and this, and they're all investing into each other and giving stake to the government. And that's where literally all the money of the stock market's going. That's where all of like the future growth of the economy and frankly like the world, like if you think about if one company is worth more than most countries and we have multiple in that ballpark in our like top 10 companies, right? We have like Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Tesla, Broadcom, all these companies that are just concentrating all the fucking wealth of like everything. Like,
is Oracle one of those?
Oracle is one of the 10. They're not traditionally the Mag 7, but now Oracle is getting into the mix.
They're one of the extras. Yeah. They're growing really. I own some of them. I've been making some money off of them recently.
Yeah, Oracle.
So they're growing really well. I was like,
yeah, but that's the thing.
They're
Oracle, AMD,
they're AI oriented.
And then Meta took a hit the other day, but they're going to be coming back. And like people don't understand, like all the money is going to these very small few companies, and now they're getting tangled up into the government.
They're
all tech.
Like high end. They're all tech. Okay, they are all tech.
They're all tech. I mean, they consider Meta like communications technically, but
it's still tech. Yeah, it's still based on electricity. If the electricity dies, they're all fucked.
So yes, corporate oligarchy is happening, but there's
maybe Nvidia because
I don't think there's any way you can stop this. Because how would you? All the money is going into these companies, and now the company is getting tangled into the government. So I don't know how you stop this. This literally is unstoppable. But what we have to do is make sure that as that happens, we've provisioned a way for like people to exist still.
Yeah,
it's kind of a crazy concept, but this is where we're at. And
the weird thing, though, is that like in the consumerism perspective, like if we outcost the consumers, there's no way to make money anymore.
Well,
right? Like, at least not easily. Then you're making, I mean, you have to sell crap to the people that they can afford so that you can make pennies off of them. Suck them dry.
Yeah, this is the problem. It's like exactly
That's
where's
like
the wealth generation come from?
What's
like
going on?
At what point, like where does the wealth, how as a person can you pay for something when there's literally nothing that you can do to generate value? Or at least not enough, right? Like there's so many people, and if it's all automated and it's all just like you're building things automatically and you're not like there's no people involved, well, how the hell does that work? But the problem is it's happening, and these people are going to have all of the money.
At a point, you'll probably force a revolution,
right?
And then
we're at a point
forcibly redistribute the wealth as it has done so many times.
Nope. But this time it won't, because before you could overpower a government. You cannot overpower the United States Army. It is not possible.
No.
You would have to have the army decide
the army
to help the people.
Chooses to also divide, which could happen. It's possible. Because I mean, they're still citizens too. They could be like there's a line I will not cross.
Exactly. Which side are you going to be on?
People like my neighbors and shit. And we've had problems like that before. One was called the Civil War. So, division can happen to a violent end.
But even with all that true, now we have and I don't think it would ever happen like this, but like, at some point, the person in charge is in one of the groups, and that person has like control over like nuclear weapons, and like there's a lot of components, right? You got like funding, like if money stops going places, you got actual troops, military, you got all of the non-military military stuff like drones and missiles,
contractors.
Yeah, or even the mercenaries, right? Someone else coming in that's not aligned that you're paying. And I don't know. It just gets really messy really fast. And honestly, that's why I'm kind of glad. Like, my time is only so much longer. I think we're going to be kind of involved in some of this, but maybe not as directly involved as Gen Z for sure. And definitely Gen Alpha. But somehow we got to figure this out. And either it's going to be...
I still got my fingers crossed for the rapture happening pretty soon, but we'll see.
Something's going to happen, that's for sure. And then left, okay, we have all this wokeness and cultural decay. I'm glad he can at least see that. And then Gen Z males are turning away from Donald Trump, says who, but are not aligning with the Democrats either. Yeah, the only people that are what is he doing that would offend Gen Z? Like, ooh, Epstein files. Okay, well, clearly you're not a part of MAGA or conservative if that's like the thing that is driving you away. So I don't know what really is pushing people away. Like, what is the problem? What are you claiming is pushing people away?
I would think the main concern for most younger people would just be looking at the fact that it's hard to afford what is essentially the American dream, owning your own home, raising a family.
So I looked into this the other day because everyone complains about it. So I picked chicken breast. I don't know. We can pick a number of things if people are complaining, but 2020 chicken, $3 a pound, 2022, $4.80, 2024, $4, right? Who was president? Why was it not a problem here?
That's the thing that really drives me crazy when I argue with a liberal and they're like, how do you like the cost of food these days? I'm like, well, that's because of COVID and Biden. For printing money, giving away free money to everyone, so that literally paying people more to not work than they were making while they were working. Like, are you kidding me? You think that was going to end well? No. I knew when this started that we were going to see some super inflation in the next couple of years. It didn't happen as fast as I thought it would, to be honest. I expected it sooner than it occurred. But now they're all pointing at Trump. Like, it's Trump's fault. I'm like, look, he's been in office for less than 6 months. I'm like, at that point, I'm like, what? Like, you think it's his fault?
Egg prices peaked in.
Do you remember how expensive bacon
February.
Was during COVID?
Yeah,
look, oh my gosh, it's it's not about
these people are so
the world
dumb.
Just becoming more expensive. It's the fact that you couldn't get the stuff to the markets because everyone had all these COVID things in place. So you couldn't, there were all these rules that were hindering the supply chains. How would you not expect that to result in prices being fluctuating? If anything, it was an excuse for people to jack up the prices. And they're not going to bring them down. Maybe they'll bring them down a little, but they're not going to, if you can get away with selling milk that only you were selling for $2 and people will actually buy it for $4, you're not going to bring it back down to $2 just because you can. You're going to keep it around $4. Maybe you'll drop it down to $3.50.
I feel like they need to show this stuff more often. Every time these idiots open their mouth and anything about prices, look what happened. When did that happen?
You can't
if you're that really upset, why aren't you upset with those guys?
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm I'm upset too, and I blame the people who are actually responsible for it. Why are you blaming the guy who just got into office and he's trying to fix it? What's going on? And then the tariff thing, don't get me started.
But that's what they're going to claim is the economy. Oh, no one wants.
I'm look, the prices were super high before the tariffs were even conceived, much less implemented. What are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about?
Give me an example of specifically what you have been impacted because of tariffs.
Donald Trump.
Nothing.
Bad. Donald Trump is a threat to democracy.
Yeah, and Biden killed a bunch of chickens on that bird flu thing.
If anything, he's trying to fix it. He's trying to make it better.
And it takes time.
You were
okay with him with Biden crashing us into the mountain for 2 years. He just completely fucked everything.
Yeah, I don't even think that was him. I don't know who it was, but I don't even think it was him.
I mean, you're saying COVID, but that spike is 2020 to 2022, not 19.
Well, COVID started it, but it wasn't COVID itself. It was the shutdowns and the let's just give a bunch of people free money because they can't work.
Yeah, that was the problem. Money. You were saying COVID, but it's more of the dumb decisions made during the time COVID happened.
Yeah, I was working the whole time because my job is based on medical, which is kind of recession proof to a degree. And I got money. I don't know why. I'm not going to send it back. I used it, but I think it was to stimulate the economy or something, like to help us pay for our groceries that we have to have delivered now because of COVID, right? That was my guess. But that was a lot of money that the government was paying out to people for a while too.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't a short period, it was like 2 years.
I don't know, man. This is just all crazy shit. But the point is, like, exactly. All of a sudden now you recognize their prices are higher 2 years later now that Trump's here. Like, oh,
right.
It took you 2 years. Yeah, and now it's his fault on top of that.
Very misplaced, is my opinion. And the fact that they use it as like one of their main points now is like just stupid. It's just like, come on, had nothing to do with him. Maybe somewhat indirectly, like because he was the president when it started, but like not really, because Biden became our president right after it began, and everything about COVID was him and his administration.
I think they should have taken COVID more serious sooner.
Eggs has nothing to do with Donald Trump, in my opinion. Absolutely not. And he's, if anything, trying really hard to alleviate the problem as best he can.
Oh, is he live right now? Interesting. Let's pop in and see what he's doing. Hold on. Oh, he's not. That's a lie. What an idiot.
It's a lie.
Anyway, so this guy, one of these little babies that's now aging out, he is not going to be accepted much longer by Gen Z people. I don't know. What do you think? Do you see? Maybe it's too small still. This face is soon to not be Gen Z accepted anymore. What do you think?
It's a little small, but wait, maybe like. Yeah, the problem with aging out is once you get to a certain age, the people around you don't have any more sympathy for you because you've had plenty of time to figure shit out. And if you haven't by the time you're 30-something, then no one's gonna help you.
If you're going to be complaining about being a Gen Z loser while you're like the oldest end of Gen Z who should have a job and figured it out by now, like no one's going to fucking care. So I think this guy's for a rude awakening.
Like 50-year-old guy that works as a dishwasher at the restaurant you have when you're a teenager, and he's trying to teach you life lessons, and you're like, dude, you're like 50 years old and you're washing dishes for a living. I don't think I'm going to listen to your life lessons, but I will smile and nod because you're old and respectful. It's like, okay.
Oh, I thought I had one more Gen Z thing.
Oh, no more?
I could have swore one of these was transitional, but oh, we're gonna watch this one, and I think we're not gonna be able to do the other news because there's just no time for that. But this is the last thing. This is the last thing I want to leave you all with. I want everyone to pay attention to every single moment of this clip. Do not look away. Do not look away at all.
All female transition team?
No, this one. World War II vet is going viral.
Oh.
You need to pay attention. I cannot stress this enough. Everybody ready for this?
On Good Morning Britain, a 100-year-old veteran said the sacrifices of his fallen comrades were not worth the United Kingdom's present condition. I am so glad to see this, because this immediately disproves all those weird, fat losers saying that me standing around with a sign dressed up like a frog is just the same as my grandfather. Now we got a real one here.
What does Remembrance Sunday mean for you? What is your message?
My message is, I can see in my mind's eye those rows and rows of white stones, all the hundreds of my friends and everybody else that gave their lives for what? The country of today. No, I'm sorry. The sacrifice wasn't worth the result that it is now.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
What do you mean by that, though?
That's really sad.
What we fought for, and what we fought for was our freedom. We find that even now it's darn sight worse than what it was when I fought for it.
He's saying it's fucking worse now than when he went to fucking war.
He's also kind of saying that we probably should have just let the Nazis win, because the result would have basically been the same.
Well, I'm glad you followed it up with that, because I was about to get angry with you for a second.
Because he's saying it wasn't worth it. That means it wasn't worth it to stop the Nazis.
He's saying
that's what World War II was ultimately about, was stopping the Nazis from dominating Europe forever. He's like, nope, wasn't worth it. Too many people died for it, and it probably would have been better if the Germans had just taken over. At least they would have been Europeans.
I'm not positive I took the same outcome from that message as you, but I'm glad something strong happened there. I think honestly,
maybe I'm looking outside the box a little too much.
It's to me, what he's saying is we have allowed, and in his case, their country almost in some cases welcomed a subversion.
Well, UK is really cray-cray right now. Like, they're arresting people just for having belief in God. Like, what the hell? Like,
and they are embracing it, and they're allowing these people in. And he's saying we have allowed it. We have allowed it to get to a point that is, to me, it's not that it wasn't worth fighting. What he's saying is, after we did all that fighting for freedom, we then allowed it to deteriorate again to a point that is worse even. So we fought to reclaim all these freedoms only to allow it to regress to a point even worse. And we're not standing up and fighting. So to me, it's more of the ramifications of at some point we recognized there was a problem and all of us got up and fought to fix it. And now you've allowed it to just go into the shitter. So why did we fight to fix it? If now you're just going to allow it to be trash again. And why aren't you fighting to fix it? Like, what are wrong with you people? That to me is like I don't know. I was so shocked by this message. And they clearly did not know that's what he was going to say. They're like, how do you feel about this Remembrance Day? And he just took a
It's like, this is a whole bunch of horse shit.
Right on him.
Like, my buddies died for you, and this is what you do with it?
Yep.
Y'all suck.
I'm so glad. I'm so glad that he did that and was just like, no, this is unbelievable. This is not the world that should be here right now by any stretch of the imagination. All right. Well, at any rate, we had a long day doing millennial stuff. If anyone out there is joining us on the millennial stuff, I mean, Gen Z stuff, definitely give us a question before we go if you have any thoughts. Otherwise, we'll be back later for some games. Hope to see you all there. If not,
30.
Have a great weekend.
Our gaming channel, Team Venture Gaming.
Team Venture Gaming. See you all there. Have a great one, everyone.
Have a great one.
Welcome to the show where Gen Z takes the stage. Thumbs tapping screens in this digital cage. Alexa's our bestie, Siri's our guide. Real conversations we'd rather just hide. We're fluent in memes but can't change a tire. Our social skills melting like ice in a fire. We're lost without Wi-Fi, can't read a map. Is this adulthood? We're falling through the gap.